You won't. Ah, you did.
No,
Hey,
I said I was going to hit the button.
look at that.
I didn't believe you. Sometimes you
It's
bluff.
another Monday, and we're here together, UNITY.
That's a unity.
What's with all the little words underneath your names, guys?
It's me and my horse Chonko.
I don't know what that is. Did I do that? I didn't do that.
So still no printer.
What does that even mean?
Fucked if I know. You put it there.
I didn't do anything. Tony did it, probably.
I don't do shit, man.
What does that even?
Can we even edit that? Can you edit
Oh,
that?
hey, look at that.
How do you get rid of that? Kevin, get rid of that for me, please.
I wish I could.
Come on, producer.
These are options I have not fiddled with at this point.
There you go. How'd you do that, Matt? I'm assuming that was Matt.
I went in and hit edit name and headline. Apparently, we could give old Donut Belly. Apparently, you can give yourself a headline.
I miss Donut Belly.
Old Donut Belly.
Founder of Creativity.
She was hot, dude. I don't care what Evan says.
Yeah, her and her old Donut Belly.
Right? Kelly Klein, right? That's who that was?
Kelly Klein was old Donut Belly.
Kelly Klein was a sexy looking lady. I don't know what Tony's...
she was very attractive.
Old Donut Belly. Why are you getting rid of nicknames, bro?
This is too much.
It's the only good thing about StreamYard left. Don't take it away from us.
A little too active. A little too active for me.
Come on.
The only good thing left.
Come on. The audio sucks. They're throwing your fucking internet out the window. I mean, what else is there to do?
Yeah. They're really butchering.
I don't know. I figured out my internet. We're good. I had no issues last week. I had no issues on Thursday when I recorded the latest Bread Club.
How's Kieran doing?
He's great.
That's awesome.
It's great. We had to change things around because my life has been in disarray the last week and a half.
No.
Disarray?
It's just busy, man. Just busy.
Yeah, Tony, disarray, that array.
Yeah. All over the place.
All over the rays.
So, I had to work today. I had to work this afternoon, so we couldn't do old Bread Club. Because before, we usually would do it. He's still at work, and then when I got home from work, it'd be like 10 o'clock at night for him.
I could have filled in. I watched the show.
Well, we did it Thursday afternoon, which
right.
made me watch the show.
Oh, yeah.
What it aired Wednesday morning. I watched it Wednesday night, so it was fresh in my brain.
Oh, look at that. Gorgeous.
Yeah, so we had a good time. Nice. So that's up now. It's available on Fightful Overbooked. You can check out the latest episode of the Bread Club. And we're going to talk about Wrestling Dontaku tonight.
That's right.
We're going to talk about Backlash.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk with ECW legend, the giant Paul Lauria.
Well,
we got down the aisle with Kate from Fightful.
Oh, Fight Club.
We're going to aggravate the fuck out of Tony and talk some AEW.
That's right.
I don't give a fuck.
You're all about the four pillars, Tony.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm stick them up my ass.
Huh.
All four at the same time?
Well, you can go simultaneous
hey,
or in and out opposites. No.
Yeah. It's just like turning the stool
One
upside
disarray,
down.
one that way.
Wow, is Kevin making hand job motions tonight?
He was,
bro.
Because the four pillars. I'm in a good mood. I watched a lot of wrestling.
Years for us to rub off on them.
I'm not rubbing off on him. Remember, I tried to fly out there.
I don't give a fuck.
Only Diana.
Oh, hey, hey,
now.
Unacceptable,
Jesus, dude.
Unacceptable.
Holy shit, bro.
You were like leading the fucking charge to go get frozen fucking chocolate bananas for your mother.
I saw Diana's bananas. I thought you guys were gonna chuckle out of it. That was for private
your
consumption.
Mother. I have to show some respect. You keep hitting the buttons when she comes on, and you blame it on me.
Yeah, fucking hand job Harry up here. Throw me and my mom under the bus. I don't
You're
like
the
this.
shit. You really are.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah.
Good for who?
Tony. For you.
How's your
I was going to say, and listen here.
Oh, great.
Mods.
This fucking hand job after you made us watch that abomination last week.
Listen, Modsbach, I'm going to tell you one thing, all right?
Go screw.
Give him the old what for, HK?
Stay the fuck off my turf, all right? All right? Stay off my fucking turf, all right? There's a line.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you do not cross it. All right. You're lucky that I'm telling you. I'm eye to eye with you. Look at me, motherfucker. Look at me.
What's going on here?
All right. You're lucky I didn't call you and bring you on the show live. All right. You know what you did. Don't do it again.
I do a little fucky.
Oh,
Should I care about this?
No, not at
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no.
whoa.
All right.
Bobby, what are you doing?
Brilliant.
Didn't think I was gonna cut there.
No, fucking
Oh, she wants to know you call that sweet woman your turf. Now, first of all, respect to your wonderful wife for calling Diane a sweet woman, even though she birthed this fucking monstrosity below me.
below me too, pal.
Hey, I'm talking
Disarray.
to Kevin. All right.
All right. Let's
Sorry,
play
I
some,
got the window open.
play
The
some
fucking
intro music.
dogs barking. We got a great big show. A lot of fun tonight.
Well.
Still getting comfortable here.
Oh no, what's wrong?
No,
Oh, I'm
you know,
sorry. Take your time, sir. Take all the time you need. Get comfortable.
You were really almost in your Paul Heyman voice when you said that. Take your time.
Take your
sir.
time. The tribal chief loves you. Yes,
He
he
does.
does.
I'll leave you the room, Matt, so you can pontificate and get comfortable.
You know what? Let's leave Matt the room. Fuck it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, god damn, I'm looking pretty scraggly. Hey, the fuck?
Hey, we ain't doing that for long. That's enough.
That's enough. You lost the money again, Matt.
Well, it's Monday night, and you know what's not enough? The Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast. You never get enough of this show. We got a lot of fun. The ECW Legend, not alumni, a lot of alumnus, not whatever other fucking disparaging things you have to say about him, Handsome Kevin. Legend. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're going right under the bus tonight, buddy.
I said no such thing.
This Paul guy.
I said gentlemen.
Stay off of his turf, Kevin.
Gentlemen.
Rude. Milwaukee Tom, he's trying to hook up with other people's mother, stealing your gimmick.
That's right.
You son of a bitch. The Devils are down 2-1. Tony's got a horse named Chonko. It's all here next. What episode is this? 636 in
Come
a
get your
row?
kicks. Episode 636. Boom.
The following is a presentation of the Shining Wizards Network, broadcasting live in high-definition video and available on all podcasting and streaming platforms. Follow us on social media at Wizards Podcast. Check out our merchandise at merch.shiningwizards.com. Do your Amazon shopping at amazon.shiningwizards.com. And become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/wizardspodcast. And now, it's time for the Shining Wizards.
Shaka, my dudes, it's the Beach Bum, Freddy Flamingo, and you're listening to the Shining Wizards.
What's up, fuckers?
From the motherfucking Shining Wizards.
Grab his dick and twist it! Dummy, yeah.
No. Fuck no.
You cocksucker!
Well,
Shining Wizards rule the world.
You are tuned in live to episode number 636 of the Shining Wizards Wrestling Podcast. Coming to you live on all social media platforms and going with you each and every place you go because we are available on all streaming and podcast platforms. And we got some loaded stuff to get to tonight. So let's just jump right into the wrestling talk.
Talk about wrestling.
Tony.
Matt.
Handsome Kevin.
KJG.
Fellas, I'd say and I'd ask what's going on, but quite frankly, I don't give a shit. We got Paul Lauria joining us. I'm fucking more excited then put in your euphemism of choice. We got Kate the Great joining us for a little down the aisle action.
That's right.
Why won't you care about how we're doing?
I don't give a fuck.
That's weird.
Oh.
Handsome Kevin, how are you tonight?
Doing fantastic. How are you, Tony? Because I do care.
I'm doing quite well. Listen, I didn't mean for my mother to cause you any lady problems at home. You know, there's enough women to go around for the HK. Let's just put it out there.
You ain't kidding. Oh, shouldn't have said it that way either.
Oh.
You know, no worries,
like
man.
this.
No worries. I'm sure everything will be just fine here. Just fine.
You gotta smile on your face. Your cheeks are nice and red tonight, like you've been exercising. Like you got a glow to you, man. You got a glow to you.
Thank you for noticing.
Your cheeks are nice red, like you've been exercising.
Yeah, like he's been like putting in the effort, putting in the time, putting in the hours, like The Rock.
Yeah. The Rock. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Or maybe like Paul Lauria.
Tonight's guest.
Sounds like a shampoo.
Oh, it does. Yeah, Peloria.
Yeah.
Sounds like a disease, bro.
That too.
Listen, I can't make the show tonight. I'm suffering from Peloria.
Yeah. My Peloria is really acting up.
All shampoos kind of do, don't they? It's like, oh man, I tested positive for Pantene. Like, that's absolutely a thing.
When I'm not feeling fresh, I reach for the Peloria.
It could be anything. You can really make it anything.
Be careful of possible side effects of Peloria. Itchy crotch. Leprosy. Possible tumors protruding from your eyeballs.
I went out hunting and caught myself one gigantic Peloria.
Please do not take Peloria if you suffer from pregnancy issues. Peloria should not be taken with your HIV medication.
It also could be like a supermarket. Welcome to Peloria.
Peloria, Illinois.
It's also a state capital.
Holy shit.
Paul Lauria joining us tonight.
All the way from Peloria, Massachusetts.
Peloria is almost like Valhalla for like a religion, you know, like you're going to reach Peloria when you die.
For a while, I thought her name was Peloria.
Only the greatest ECW alumni, when they pass from this mortal strictures, they get to join the rest of their brethren in Peloria,
Illinois, right next to Champaign.
It's next to Pittsburgh, brother.
You ever meet a tough guy from Peloria?
You son of a bitch.
Oh, gabagool.
I'm glad everybody's doing well. We hope you out there listening are in a great space. You're enjoying the Shining Wizard Wrestling podcast. Remember to rate, review, subscribe. Let's get on that shit, people. We got to bump this algorithms up. We're not doing great in Japan. We're like number 7. We got to be number 1. Austria. What are we doing, Austria?
Come on, Kratzo, get your stuff together.
And fuck it, the United States, it's abysmal. We're not. I mean, come on, people.
No, I heard we have a fantastic following in Peloria.
Yeah, but they're just not listening in the iTunes, which is what the Chartable Digest tracks.
Oh, Peloria could be a streaming platform too. Check us out on Spotify, Peloria, Audio Boom.
Literally could be anything, Tony.
Fuck yeah, dude. Peloria is the oyster of the world, man.
I want to know if you're going to bring this Peloria energy to Paul Lauria when he shows up at 7:30. You're going to put your fucking tail between your legs and not say anything like you usually do during these interviews.
That's just hurtful, bro.
Well, I want to know.
Who was the last person?
The giant Paul Lauria stops now.
Who decided with that liner too? By the way,
that's all Tony.
Freddie Flamingo.
Oh, Freddie Flamingo, friend of the show.
Yeah, all right. And his horse Chanko.
Yeah.
Why are we? Freddie out? Is he out of the club?
No,
he hasn't wrestled in like 10 years.
It's okay. His spirit and his liner live on.
Yeah, he's one of the liners we have where we don't have to worry about anyone canceling us for his past aggressions.
Amen. There's not too many of those left.
No, we're fucking running out of them.
Oh boy.
So you better bring that energy to Paul Lauria in 26 minutes. All right.
Lauria,
bro.
We got to bring this up with him.
Disrespect the giant.
No,
Paul
we
Lauria.
don't have to bring it up. It'll be our running.
No,
joke.
you do.
Just call him Peloria. Don't say Paul Lauria. Just keep going.
10 minutes of the show busting this guy's balls. He's not even here to defend himself.
So Peloria, how do you know Mikey Whipwreck?
It's a compliment because it's like his name flows into like one long word. His first and last name like literally just go together and form one super Voltron name.
Peloria.
Like, it's like Peloria. Like it's I'll say it. I don't care. What the hell do I care? Might be a giant, but
it's fucking Peloria. That's all. So Peloria, just address him as
insult.
Peloria.
It's just
not
a comical
Paul, not Mr.
observation.
Lauria. Like, hey, Peloria, did you ever shit your pants?
Yeah. Hey, Peloria, did you ever eat raw chonko?
Hey, Peloria, you ever see the Rock and Roll Express's balls?
You ever smell Vader's gear, Peloria?
Does Jason make you itchy, Peloria?
And do you use
That's
Peloria
something.
on your Peloria?
Hey, Peloria, did you ever call 911?
Hey, Peloria, I got no respect.
Oh, brother.
Oh, brother is right.
I like this. Mrs. Rogue is hanging out tonight.
Hi, Mrs.
I
Rogue.
like
How are
this.
you?
Oh, she's
I'm
pissed
crying.
off.
Is she?
I don't think she's pissed off.
Ah,
I think she's
She's
mad
a
at you
little
for
nervous.
disrespecting the sweet Mama Tony.
yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't think that's
Yeah.
what it is.
Motherfucker. There we go.
And
How
Matt,
come
by the
Paul
way,
Lauria
you said the
didn't have,
Devils
like,
are
a
down
gi-
2-1, but they won yesterday pretty decisively. So
Yeah, they
it's-
lost
it's-
pretty decisively the other night too.
But it's good news. The most recent turn of events is good news. So I just want to shout out the NJ Devils, baby. Let's go tomorrow night.
See, Tony, no worries. No worries.
All right, cool.
Never. Never's a strong word.
What a wonderful phrase.
She ain't lying.
She never gets mad at you.
I'm sure she might here and there, but we've never had like an actual like argument fight.
You never
anything
beat
like
her,
that.
is what you're trying to tell me.
Oh,
Wow, that went 0 to 60 real
I
fast.
was gonna say you might want to
Christ,
find
dude.
different words there, buddy.
No,
boy.
I get it. I own it.
No.
That's
Man,
good
Kevin-
then. Can never beat
Kevin
you
went
either.
From like gross, uncomfortable talking about like naughty parts to beating women, and he was doing this before.
Yeah.
Wait, does Kevin have a liner in the bank? We may have to delete that.
I don't know. It just seems like there's no gradual progression.
Nope.
He's just like
Nah, this morning Kevin woke up and he's a new man.
I woke up with no filter from my brain to my mouth today.
dirtbag like the rest of us now. It kind of fucks up our flow.
No. It'll end quickly. I'll regain my equilibrium. And
No, don't.
I'll be good, Kevin, again.
I'll be good, Kevin.
I kind of like edgy Kevin.
Edgy Kevin has balls. Yeah, he
I don't
mess
know.
around.
Coffee shop Kevin might be my favorite.
Coffee shop Kevin's a great Kevin.
Well, you know, it's a great segment
What's that?
for the Shining Wizard Wrestling Podcast.
Uh-oh.
Over the top, boy.
A little WWE Backlash. Bianca Belair defeated Io Sky. Seth Rollins defeated Omos. Austin Theory defeated Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Rhea Ripley defeats Zelina Vega. Bad Bunny defeats Damian Priest. The Bloodline defeats Kevin Owens, Matt Riddle, and Sami Zayn. Cody Rhodes defeats Brock Lesnar. On NXT, Wes Lee defeated Drew Gulak. JC Jane defeated Gigi Dolan. Axiom defeats Scripps. JD McDonough defeats Dragon Lee. Joe Gacy in a Battle of the Joes defeated Joe Coffey. Danny Palmer defeated Tatum Paxley, and Elba Fire and Isla Dawn defeated Katana Chance and Caden Carter. Tony, take me over the top.
Carrots were once purple. My carrot still turns purple every now and then.
So you ate too many. Wait, what? How? Why?
His carrot, Matt.
Yeah, no, I
It's
get
a
it,
euphemism.
Kevin.
Okay.
Because when it stops getting oxygen, it starts turning purple.
Massive, throbbing, angry.
Purple.
Carrot.
Purple, not like a dark red. Purple.
No, purple, bro.
Yeah, it's a
Like
fucking
the
doctor,
color
dude.
of royalty.
Ah,
King Dong, baby.
you've heard of the pink torpedo. Now he's got the purple carrot.
Kev, you could steal these jokes for your comeback, by the way.
Nope. Listen, I already feel bad about the stuff I've already done in the show tonight, so I'm taking a couple steps back until Lauria joins us.
Well, we're taking a couple steps forward. AEW Dynamite Wednesday night. Adam Cole, Bandito, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong defeated the JAS. Saraya with Ruby Soho and Toni Storm defeated Willow Nightingale. The Trace de Mayo Trios Battle Royal was won by Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed. Thankfully, there was a non-title match for Wardlow as he defeated Logan LaRue. Ricky Starks defeated Juice Robinson. And in your main event, with the main event of Double or Nothing hanging in the air, Darby Allin and Jungle Man Jack Perry, they defeated MJF and Sammy Guevara to make it a 4 pillars match at Double or Nothing. Over on Rampage, the Lucha Brothers and El Hijo del Vikingo, they defeated QTV, Aaron Solo, Powerhouse Hobbs, and QT Marshall.
Solo.
In another non-title match, Jade Cargill successfully defended her TBS championship against Gia Scott.
How is it non-title if she successfully defended her title, you hand job?
I don't write them. I just read them. Mark Briscoe defeats Preston
Wait,
Vance.
he didn't write that though.
Oh, is that Brundon?
Shut up.
It's not even what's on the page. Shut up.
And in your main event, the Firm deletion match, the Hardys, Hook, and Isaiah Cassidy defeated the Firm of Big Bill, Ethan Page, Lee Moriarty, and Stokely Hathaway. Tony, take it over the top.
Brian Pillman once tricked Eric Bischoff into releasing him. And in local news, KJG never has to trick the Benelli sisters for a release.
You are a piece of fucking shit.
That was a great
Friends
line.
of-
Fuck you.
Friends of the show, Benelli sisters.
The flying
And
Benelli.
you know what they have? You know what they're chock full of, Tony? Honor. And that means that we're talking about Ring of Honor on Honor Club, where in a Pure Rules match, Rocky Romero defeats Lee Moriarty with Big Bill ROH Women's World Title Proving Ground match. Athena defeats Angelica Risk. ROH World Television Title match. Samoa Joe defeats Christopher Daniels. And in the ROH World Title match, Claudio Castagnoli defeats Robbie Eagles. What is this? Best friends Chuck Taylor and Trent Beretta, Action Andretti, Darius Martin, and Sue Grayson. What a weird team. When I saw this graphic, I was like, what? Defeats the Kingdom and the Varsity Athletes. That's that. Preston Vance defeats Rich Adonis. Sky Blue defeats Robin Renegade. Brian Cage defeats Brock Anderson. Willow Nightingale defeats Steph DeLander. Commander defeats Angelico. Joni, take us over the top. Yeah, just do it.
If I were a female wrestler and I was even-handed with advice, my name would be Charlotte Fair.
All right, Tony, that made an impact on me, and we're going to make an impact with Thursday night's Impact Wrestling. Brian Myers and Moose defeated Bhupinder Gujar and Yuya Umayura. Sami Callihan defeats Big Khan by disqualification. Jody Threat defeats Alicia Edwards. Heath, PCO, and Rhino defeat Champagne Singh, Shira, and Steve Macklin. Jonathan Gresham defeats Mike Bailey in a certified banger. Tony, give us a certified banger and take it over to the top.
Hornswoggle has more Royal Rumble eliminations than Tensai. That little bastard.
Wait, are you just Tenzai or not Albert?
Yeah, none of them.
You're just counting Tensai?
Yeah.
He's probably only in one Rumble.
And Hornswoggle. Yeah.
But I would assume Prince Albert.
He's in a can. You better let him out.
You never know, Matt. Albert,
Really?
as A-Train, maybe, but not as Prince Albert.
How many more of these we got? I want to make sure I save the best for last.
2.
All right, good. Go. Keep going.
On NWA Power, EC3 defeats Carnage. M95 defeats the Hollywood Blondes. Chris Adonis defeats Scion. Camille defeats Natalia Markova.
Yep. All right.
Hold on.
Yep. Yeah.
On NWA USA, the Spectaculars defeat Eric Jackson and Rolando Freeman. Angelina Love defeats Kylie Page. Judas and Max the Impaler defeat the Miserably Faithful. Tony, over the top, me babe.
Dolphins sleep with one eye open, but unlike Matt, they can't grip anything tight.
Still hung up on your over the top for Tenson.
Tensai, you dummy.
Whatever.
Not Hiroshi Tenzan. I bet your Hornswoggl's got more eliminations in the Rumble than he does too.
Well, yeah. Don't fucking listen, you motherfucker. Don't act like you put in a lot of work for these stupid fucking things.
These stupid fucking things.
Oh, time out. Let's fucking.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, yes. Good evening, Diana. I hope this Monday again finds you well. Oh, you couldn't do the. I think we could probably help you.
Wait a minute. What? Wait. Are we really doing this? I got to bring you jackasses back in. Are we really doing this? Can we send this to Diana?
Oh, I already sent it to Diana.
I told you last week she's not going to be able to figure this out. I'm surprised my phone's not ringing right now.
So, Tony, you only have one over the top left?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So, Matt, why don't you go to? Are we doing New Japan for over the top or no?
Yeah, I was going to.
Yeah, so go for it. We'll skip MLW and just hit New Japan.
Oh my god. I was trying. Should Miley leave the room? This is gonna get hot and heavy in here.
That's maybe that's a Wizard After Dark type of situation.
Yeah, it's already steaming up in here.
On New Japan Pro Wrestling Dontaku, Chaos, Hiroki Goto, Toriyano, Yo, and Yoshihashi defeated the team of House of Torture, Dick to Go, Evil Show, and Yujiro Takahashi. The United Empire, Great O'Khan, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis defeated TMDK, Fujita, Mikey Nichols, and Shane Haste. The Intergalactic Jet Setters, Kevin Knight and Kushida, along with Shota Umino, defeated the United Empire, Aaron Hanare, Francisco Akira, and TJP. Just five guys, Doki, Taichi, and Kanamura, defeated Los Ingrenobles de Japón, Bushi, Shingo Takagi, and Naito. The New Japan Strong Openweight title saw Hikuleo successfully defeat Kenta to become the third champion in the history of the New Japan Strong Openweight title. Your New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television title match, Zack Sabre Jr. wrestled Jeff Cobb to a 15-minute time limit draw. Yeah. Say limit again, Matt. Your never openweight six-man tag titles change hands as the team of Chaos, Okada, Big Tom Ishii, and Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated Strong Style, El Desperado, Minoru Suzuki, and Ren Narita. Your never openweight title changed hands as David Finlay laid out Tama Tonga. And in the main event, the IWGP World Heavyweight title was successfully defended as Sonata vanquished Hiromu Takahashi. Tony, take us over the top.
There are 420 words for snow in Scotland, but there's only one word for wrestling fans: losers!
I don't know why I have to go over after the wrestling fans every time.
Because it's part of the gimmick, bro.
Yeah, Matt, don't you do that like every day on Twitter?
No, I'm pretty quiet on Twitter. Right. I do have to ask you. I watched Backlash yesterday.
All right, let's get into it, baby.
I had some time yesterday when I got home. A very busy week at work, and I have a very, very busy week coming up. And I wasn't really like I wanted to watch TV, but I didn't know what I wanted to watch. So I was like, you know what? Let me see Backlash, Puerto Rico. I'm sure the crowd was like super fired up for it. Is this drone thing new? Hey!
Hey!
I'm not sure what you mean by.
She's not gonna be able to hear you guys though.
What can I hear you? I hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. Try to get on the link. Matt wants to talk. Kevin wants to talk to you.
Yeah, that Kevin. No, I mean I talked to you too, but the other Kevin.
Well, they can't hear you, so it's not going to work. So you got to do the link.
I can't do it. I did it twice. All right.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
I had to get a code number and all that.
You want to say hi to Kevin? He can hear you.
Hi, Kevin.
Well, good evening, Diana.
She can't hear you, bro. It's all right. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. Behave. Watch your mouth with those words. My God.
Yeah, what the fuck, Tony?
Now too. Come on.
Bye. She said Matt better watch his mouth too.
Oh, look at
that. The drone. They flew a drone into the arena and then they did like drone shots.
Yeah.
That's
the first time I've seen them do that.
All right.
Doesn't AEW do that? Or do
Not
they
to
just
my
do
knowledge.
Or do they just do like over the top of the ring shots?
Over the top.
They do a shot from like over the top. But this was like I was watching it and the screen was like doing this and the drone was fucking flying over the crowd like for Bad Bunny's entrance. And
yeah,
it was fucking tripping me out. I didn't
That's
like
so weird, Matt. I didn't even notice it. Yeah. And I watched the entire show. Didn't even put two and two together. That it was a drone.
You didn't notice the screen was moving?
Nope.
Was the room also spinning while you were watching it, Kevin?
What was going on, buddy?
Kevin was throwing a few back with the Benelli sisters.
I watched this. I watched it today at work. I didn't even notice it.
Interesting. What do you guys think of? We got only a couple minutes before Lauria joins us, but what did you guys think of Backlash?
What I saw was pretty good.
2 thumbs up, baby.
Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic event. Anytime Savio Vega's there, I'm in. That made me rock hard. But no, I thought start to finish the show was extremely enjoyable.
Savio made you hard? Bro, he was on MLW like every week for like the past 2 years.
I said what I said.
Why don't you just get boners from watching fucking what the hell network is it even? I don't even know what network it's on anymore.
Reels,
that's it.
I think it's going back to YouTube now.
Yeah.
Is it already off Reels?
Because Reels became part of like Peacock.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Run. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, well, MLW is suing WWE anyway, so you know.
Why Savio Vega?
I fucking love Savio Vega.
You mean why it makes him hard?
All right, that was fucking weird that you both were like, we love Savio Vega.
Because I don't have a great affinity for him. I just think it made perfect sense for being there.
Oh, I didn't mean why Savio Vega there. I mean, why the love for Savio Vega?
Oh, I don't love Savio Vega.
Oh, yes, you do.
What do you mean?
We discussed Savio Vega, all right? All right, don't you backtrack.
No. You're gonna have to remind me if I said that I love, but like love is strong. I liked his work.
Did you make a fucking case for Savio Vega in the Hall of Fame, handsome Kevin?
Perhaps.
Oh my fucking god! What are we doing? We're just letting.
What's the problem?
We'll just let anyone on the show now.
We're making Patreon content, dude.
Savio Vega.
What's your problem with Savio Vega?
He sucks.
He does not suck.
Oh my god.
You suck.
How do you feel about Quang, Matt?
Quang just as bad.
Oh, okay. That's unfortunate.
Come on. Really? Savio Vega?
Not even a little
Absolutely.
better than
The only thing about Savio Vega that I hated was his fucking gear when he came in and he wore jeans and the fucking Christmas vertical stripe shirt. And so that was the only thing but he was so I love the Bariquas because I love that whole stable gang warfare thing. But dude, he's a freaking legend in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to be Puerto Rican after watching this show.
Motspock brings up an interesting point. If Hillbilly Jim's in the Hall of Fame, Savio Vega sure as shit deserves to be in. Savio Vega did not sing "Don't Go Mensa with a Country Boy."
Looks like Tom has totally redeemed himself.
Brian?
Fucking...
I'm in the show.
Oh boy! Oh, are you ever?
You should be proud of your mom.
Yeah. I'm always proud of you, Mom.
Your head. I can't believe I did this.
Oh, I can't believe it either, Mom.
Oh, I'm on live?
Yeah.
You got clothes on, right?
No, I was laying down.
Well, you're naked? Come on, you got clothes on, don't you?
A nightgown.
Oh, I can't tell.
Yeah,
I can see your
nightgown.
shoulders. I got nervous.
It's a nightgown.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Mom. Really?
You saw?
That's a good place for it to
Trap
freeze,
Diana
Mom.
coming in hot.
There you go.
Don't be embarrassed. I'm your mother, remember.
Good Lord. Yeah, I know. I'm reminded on a daily basis. All right, enough. Gee, that's enough.
How much do you see? You can't see nothing.
Well, what are you, John Cena? Oh, God, she's got the glasses off, HK. She's making a move.
How you doing, my friend?
I see
No,
that.
I have to wear them for seeing, so I can see everybody.
Seeing
I
is
don't need him
important.
to see you, Mom.
Nice, real nice.
You're the one showing him the goods. What do you want me to say?
I didn't show no goods. I don't see my goods on there.
Come on. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Come on, Mom. Oh, Jesus. Oof.
What happened here? Don't go. Look at him. He's mad.
Oh my God, the views are going up like crazy.
Look at him. Oh my God.
New Diana Patreon content coming.
Any comments?
Oh yeah, they're coming in. They're coming in fast.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. So what'd you have for dinner tonight, Ma? Anything good? Come on, stop it! Are you drinking again?
Oh, I wish. I need a shot and a beer.
You want to meet our guest? You want to meet the giant Paul Lauria?
Who?
Yeah, this guy. Hey, Paul, this is my mom. Mom, this is Paul Lauria, the giant.
Hey,
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow that. So you guys might want to let me go now.
hey, how you doing, Paul?
Clearly, I'm not doing as well as you are.
Oh.
I think their viewership just went down when I showed up. So maybe I can step aside and let you go.
No, Paul, you're good. She's still here.
Go to town. Yeah, this is great TV. This is extreme.
So, Ma, how much you drink tonight? A couple? You throw a couple back? A few shots and beers?
Absolutely nothing.
No?
Nothing. No.
Just high on life tonight, huh?
Huh? I'm always happy. You know that. Mommy's always
I know that. I wasn't expecting you to show everybody the goods.
You hear that, Tony? Mommy's
You
always
couldn't
happy.
see nothing. All right, I'm covered. Oh my God.
All right, enough! Took us 11 and a half years, 636 episodes, and this is where we're at.
Yeah, see, this is more fun than what you're talking about.
An ECW legend and my mother in a nightgown.
I'm tapping.
I'm pretty sure she's more over right now. So go with it.
You guys are crazy.
Oh my goodness. Are you sticking around, Ma? You want to stay a while?
No, I think I showed enough tonight. Stay tuned next week, okay?
Hey, we'll see you next week, Diana.
All right. Nice to meet everybody.
Yes. You have a wonderful evening.
Good night,
you
Mom.
too. Bye, guys.
Holy shit.
How do I get out of here
Let's
now?
see if that's going to say the next hour of the show is going to be sexy. There it is.
Oh,
This
wow.
just became my favorite podcast ever.
I kicked her from the studio. Okay.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh my God, Paul, I don't know how you're going to follow this, but I mean,
No idea how I'm supposed to follow that, but let's go for it. Let's have some fun.
holy shit.
Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate the time. I was super excited when I found you online. You asked me what made me reach out to you, and I was watching 1995 ECW, and my memory serves me correct. It was the first episode of 1995, which also I think was the first episode that we got in the New York, New Jersey area.
Yes,
And the
it was.
first thing
Yes.
you see is Mikey. He's getting congratulated. Joey Styles, big year for Mikey. And then who's right there in the front row? His former tag team partner, former friend, not happy with Mikey's success. The giant Paul Lauria. And you were also all over the first ECW compilation tape I brought from RF Video.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
It was like,
yeah.
like 6 episodes, and the giant Paul Lauria was in all of them. And it was like, I'm going to see if this guy's still around, because Roy's looking to talk to any wrestlers. And I was like, this will be a great throwback. And I found you online, and now you're involved in the current state of professional wrestling. But you laid the groundwork in ECW so many years ago. So I was just serendipitous.
It is really interesting that we connected when we did, because if this was 3 months ago, I probably would have told you, I don't know what I could really share with you. It was 28 years ago. But yeah, it was about 5 months ago now that the Maximo brothers reached out to me, that brought me back in. Don't get me wrong, I still communicate a lot with the boys and a lot of the local talent. Mikey Whipwreck and I we're still good friends, and we had a history that stayed kind of like along the path the entire time. But I was away from wrestling for probably a solid 20 years, where I had no part of it outside of just supporting the local indies and stuff.
So what? So you were, we know 94 ECW, 95 ECW, a little bit in 96, and then you're kind of off. You're out of the game. What happened?
Honestly, it wasn't for me. There's a backstory that never really gets shared, because I didn't have the career Mikey had. Mikey went on to do WCW, come back to ECW, is probably one of the most, what's the word I'm looking for?
Predictable?
No, more unappreciated trainers when it comes to wrestling. The guys he has trained that are on TV today that he really doesn't get the acknowledgement for. Amazing Red, Tony Nese, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Willow Nightingale, like Trent Beretta. These are all Mikey's kids. Jay Lethal. There's so many of them that have come through after I stopped. But what happened after ECW was I just wasn't really built to do the whole wrestling on the road, living. That was an ECW who had just started, but it started to pick up. That's when we first started to travel. They started going down to Florida, and then it was going on the road. And I was only 20 something years old, I was actually still working a full-time job while traveling to Philly every weekend and wrestling. So what I did was I actually walked away from ECW at the time, and Mikey was picked up by WCW, and we opened up a promotion in a school on Long Island in the late 90s, from 98 to like 2001. And that's where I kind of resided after the ECW run.
So were you training with Mikey at that point? You were, right? Is that what you just kind of said?
So, well, training is the operative word. Mikey and I were never trained. We were two kids who had met backyard wrestlers, and through a weird circumstance, the wrestling ring we built in a backyard. If you guys hear my dog, I'm sorry about that. It was a wrestling ring we had in a backyard, and that guy who let us build a ring in his yard happened to know like one of those old 80s enhancement talents from WWE. And his name was Sonny Blaze. And Sonny was coming to Long Island. He was going to open up this wrestling school. And guys of mine and Mike were not common in wrestling in the early 90s. You didn't see 5'5" and 5'7" guys wrestling. So we had gone to this facility. A friend of ours, Stormin Mike Norman, wanted to be a pro wrestler so bad. So we all went down there, and he had a WWE ring in this building. And it was like the first time we ever saw a ring for real. But it wasn't what we thought it was supposed to be. There's a really cool story, if you ever want to research it, about Bubba Ray Dudley, how he doesn't make reference to this school because Bubba Ray was one of the only other guys there the night we were there. And long story short is that we weren't really trained, but we did so much there. We were told no one would ever pay a dime to watch anybody our size ever wrestle. We couldn't join the school. It wasn't going to take our money. No one's going to pay a dime to see you. No promoter will ever hire you. But we were allowed to like hang out and do our thing. So eventually we just got our own set of keys. And me and Mikey and a few of our friends, we would literally meet up after work at like 11 o'clock at night, go down to this gym and stay there till about 4 a.m. And we were basically just self-taught, training ourselves. We did get chances to work with different wrestlers that would come in here and there. Christopher Michaels was huge with helping us. Primo Canera, who went on to ECW to be one of the FBI. He was one of he's 7'2". I don't know what they called him. I don't remember the name. And then it was a total shoot. The Joey Styles stuff was a shoot. We ended up getting called one night to say, hey, there's a company in Philadelphia called Eastern Championship Wrestling that wants to rent my ring. Can you guys drive it to Philly? You'll get to meet some wrestlers and be the ring crew. And that story of me and Mikey being ring crew and setting up and breaking down for the bingo nights when it was legit a bingo hall, that's all true. That's what we really did.
That FBI guy was Big Guido.
Yes,
Yeah.
Big Guido. Yes.
That's what he was in ECW.
Is the school you're referring to, is that NYWC or no?
So NYWC is the school that came out of what Mikey and I created. Mikey and I created with a wrestler by the name of Storm and Mike Norman on Long Island, a school called the HWA, the Hardcore Wrestling Alliance. And it was supposed to be a school that transitioned into a school/promotion, except back in the 90s in New York, we didn't have a license to run shows. So we were running outlaw shows. No promotion, no nothing. And this is where we had met kids like Amazing Red, SAT, Quiet Storm, Divine. We had met a very, very young Joey Matthews, and he was Joey Matthews at the time, not Mercury, and Christian York. And these guys were all coming in and wrestling with us before they ever went on to do anything else. Spanish Fly was created in the HWA. And here's a fun fact for you guys. The SAT, I gave them that name. That's why we work together today.
No.
And then Shane O'Neill, who's the owner of NYWC, was our first student in the HWA. So when we closed down in 2001, he took the ring. He did basically the legit version with all the licensing, all the permits, everything in Deer Park. And for the last 20 years, that's what NYWC became. It started as HWA and it turned into NYWC.
Any interaction with Hawkins and Ryder, Myers and Cardona, or no?
So I literally just saw Matt Cardona a couple of weeks ago at an Outlaw Wrestling show. And Brian Myers, I haven't actually crossed paths with him yet. But again, what's so interesting about the Northeast is, especially Long Island, is that when you look now at the predominant companies that are running, schools and promotions that are running on Long Island, they all come from the HWA, which was me and Mikey. NYWC, which is Shane O'Neill, and Storm and Mike Norman is an owner now over there. Their student is Brian Myers, who owns Create a Pro, trained by Mikey Whipwreck. Amazing Red with House of Glory came from the HWA, trained by Mikey Whipwreck. Wrestling Is Now, which is me and the Maximo brothers from HWA and everybody else. So there is this fun competitive thing, but we all came from that same start. And we were running back in the 90s when HWA was running. The only real other promotion that was kind of running along with us was the Doghouse, which is where Homicide and all those guys came from as well. And we had a great relationship with all those guys.
It's funny how wrestling works. Now it's come full circle. Your fingerprints are all over the indie scene in the tri-state area. And then you guys have the show coming up in 10 days at Stereo Garden in Patchogue, New York, where you'll crown the first ever world heavyweight champion. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with Wrestling Is Now.
So I want to say it was November of 2022, I got a phone call from Joel Maximo. And he had explained to me that he had this new promotion, the Maximo Rose has a new promotion called Wrestling Is Now. And they had run a show in 2022, but it was kind of like, really quick. It was in New Jersey. So in New Jersey, there's no athletic commission. So what happens in New Jersey a lot is that guys can pretty much, if you can get a ring and you get some wrestlers and you get a building, you run a show. There is no real, anybody can kind of do it. And I got to be honest with you, the matches were really, really good, but the show was pretty much a flop in the context of presentation. It was in like an indoor soccer stadium. It didn't really have a big draw. There was probably, maybe 100 people or so. So when you look at the matches in the ring, phenomenal. But the presentation, you could see this big soccer field behind it. It was like big open dead space. And Joel had reached out to me and said, with our history and the things we did back in the HWA, I always refer to basically the way my brain works when I come up with storylines and I book is very much the way they approach tag team wrestling. They went outside the box. They did not do what everybody else was doing. They were super innovative. They tried things. Not everything works, but they were just different. And that's how I approach wrestling. And we've always had this symbiotic relationship where we were always super tight. So when they had asked me and said, hey, listen, with the history we have, you gave us the name, the SAT, you created that gimmick. We really don't want to do this with anybody else but you. And our relationship is so tight that way. I was so far removed from wrestling. I mean, I literally the year before was put in the NYWC Hall of Fame with the HWA. I thought that was it. I thought finally we had a final moment. All the boys were together. The final swan song. We all said our goodbyes. And then a year later, I get a call, and here I am coming right back in. But they're so passionate and so ambitious about just approaching things differently that once my brain started to go creatively, it was like the floodgates opened. And I have so much love for those guys. They really are like brothers of mine. So it's just one of those things where we can't wait to introduce the world to what we're going to do.
What was your time like? I'm sorry, Matt, go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're in the vicinity, Stereo Garden 9 Railwood Ave, Patchogue, New York, on May 18th, a Thursday night. There's no Thursday night football. The Knicks and the Nets have been eliminated from the playoffs by that point. I know the Knicks are still in.
Don't know that.
Probably going to lose. Sorry, guys. And hopefully the Devils have an off night. You go out there and you see some outlaw wrestling is now. The poster's got all the familiar faces. Crowbar's there, Homicide, the SAT, obviously, the Greek God Papadon, the new Backstreet Boys, Tommy Grayson.
No,
and
back seats.
Oh, back seats. Sorry, I got all excited.
Here's an interesting story with that too. And there's a lot of history just in that match alone. If you followed wrestling back in the 2000s, the Ring of Honor days, the TNA days, SAT were a staple when TNA had first come on the scene. And then it was a staple. They were originals with Ring of Honor. The Briscoes, the Backseats, and the SAT were considered the holy trinity of tag team wrestling. Mm-hmm. So, Trent Acid unfortunately passed away at such a young age. And it's a tragedy that he passed. Johnny Kashmere has now come back to wrestling. And he's now basically found what he believes, and me too, because I'm such a huge fan of Tommy and JP Grayson, the Grayson brothers.
Yep.
And he has now bestowed this Backseats gimmick that him and Trent had, and he has given it to them. So now Johnny Kashmere is going to now team up with the Backseats to wrestle against the SAT, all three of them, which are now Will, Jose, and Joel Maximo. Back in the day, Will wasn't wrestling, but now he is. He filled in for Jose when Jose wasn't there. So Will has never wrestled against Kashmere, and Tommy and JP have never wrestled against the SAT, in that there's so much that's going to happen for the first time, even though there's a 25-year history with these, or 20-year history with these guys.
Yeah, Tommy and JP are two great guys, very good friends of ours and mine, and the SAT as well, former guest of the show.
Yes, well. So Jose just sent me a picture of him wearing your merch.
Yeah, well, we'll get you one. We'll get you some merch too. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
It's the least you could do for making up for getting chokeslammed a whole bunch of times by 911.
Yes, that was a hard way to break into the business, to be honest. And it was spontaneous. It was never planned. Not in the beginning.
I don't know who Joey Styles is thinking he could stand up to you the way he tried. Like, what was he thinking?
Listen, it was pretty amazing to watch Joey Styles do what he did. But it was for a kid who never really, I didn't come up the same way a lot of these guys. Like if you ever listen to like a Chris Jericho, right? Chris Jericho talks about how he trained in Canada and how he came up, with over in Memphis, and he had all these opportunities, and then he broke into ECW. I literally went from a backyard into basically a gym with just my friends into being inside of an ECW ring where Paulie is giving you a gimmick and you just go and you're trying to learn on the fly. And to hear Joey Styles help put us over in matches, it was such I learned probably more from Joey Styles than I would say equally as much as I did from all those guys back in that locker room back in the day. Because you realize what Joey was trying to do. He was amazing. And for a one-man show to do what he did was pretty impressive.
So I have to ask you, the Young Dragons, was this a gimmick so Todd Gordon didn't have to pay you twice for the night? Or
no, the Young Dragons were a gimmick, honestly, because it goes back to the story I told you before. I was told the first night I stepped foot inside of a building where my friend wanted to be a pro wrestler by the first pro wrestler I ever met that no one would ever pay a dime to watch somebody 5'5" wrestle. And I walked out of there very, this is like, I don't know that I had a dream to be a wrestler, but for somebody to tell you, like, you touch that ring for the first time, how exciting it is. And then somebody tells you, yeah, sorry, that's never going to happen. And I went home and this is a shoot. I was a huge mark for Jushin Thunder Liger. As one of you stated earlier about RF video, I used to have tapes from Japan of Jushin Liger, and I was such a fan of his. And one night I thought to myself, what if I wear a mask and I say I'm from Japan? In Japan, the wrestlers are all small. Maybe, just maybe, I can get away with saying I'm a Japanese wrestler. This is a total shoot. I literally had, back in the 90s and the 80s, I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm a little older. They had bicycle shorts, and they were spandex shorts. And with a scissor, I started cutting up a pair of black bicycle shorts with a needle and thread because I didn't know how to sew with a machine or anything. I literally started to sew together that Young Dragon mask. I sewed a wig on it. I put white vinyl on it, and I wanted to rip off Jushin Liger. But I wanted to say I was from Japan. And I would train with this mask on at Sonny Blaze's gym all the time. And one night in ECW, after doing the choke slams as ring crew only, Paul, and the way the ring crew would work, you'd be at ring crew and Paulie, there's 911, he'd choke slam a wrestler, then he'd kill the referee. And then Paulie would walk by you at ringside and be like, go help the ref out of the ring. And as you go to help the ref out of the ring, 911 would grab you and be like, are you ready to jump? And that was it. You were taking choke slams. But one night, Paulie walked up to me and he said, I need to speak with you. And I thought I was in trouble. I was just a ring crew guy. I'm like, what did I do? And he asked me, he said, what's this I hear about a mask?
Oh, shit.
So I was taught, even though I'm not a worker, to always bring your things. And I brought that mask with me to Philly, even though I'm ring crew. I busted it out and he looked at me and he said, I want 3 of those next week. Okay. Well, this is where the story goes south for me, though. I rush home. We're trying to figure out how do we get more masks. We're like, we got friends. We're whipping things up together. We used to have like flea marks down here with airbrush. We would go to karate studios and we were buying gis and we're getting airbrush on the back and we're making this up on the fly. And we get to Philly the next week and I'm so excited. I can't believe my idea worked. We didn't have a name at the time. Paulie was like, what's your name? I think my name for my Young Dragon was Kendo the Hurricane Osaka. And Mikey Whipwreck was the other one. He was Storm Sasaki. And then we had to come up with a third. So we came up with Cyclone Nagasaki, which I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that in this day and age. I probably get canceled for that. But Paulie looks at us. He's like, all right, we got a problem, though. I only need 2 of you. And he takes Mikey and my other buddy, Craig. And left me out.
Oh.
So Young Dragons debut, and I don't get to do it. So... But long story short is eventually, though, the Young Dragons got to get it in there. I got to have matches, Young Dragon. And like you said, I would be ring crew. I would be jobber guy going out there to start a match and get 911's music would hit. And before the match even started and choke slammed, I would be ring crew. I'd be a Young Dragon getting choke slammed. And I would literally spend weekends probably getting choke slammed between 9 and 15 times over the course of 3 days. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever. So...
Are you trying to tell me you were not one of the Young Dragons that got the win by DQ over Kevin Sullivan and Tasmaniac?
No, I was not.
Oh, I was going to
Oh,
over before you said that.
See, I'm being honest. I could have stole it right there. I could have told everybody it was. But a really cool story about that. Great learning lesson in wrestling. Because all we thought when I sat there with Mikey, and I was still in my gear. I took a little mask off. I'm sitting there in the gi, all sad. But we honestly thought, like, not knowing the business, we thought that, hey, this is what jobbers do. You go out there and get squashed, And Mikey and Craig, they went out there and they worked and they got destroyed. And as soon as that match ended, Kevin Sullivan and Taz made a beeline right through that curtain and went right up to two of them, gave them a hug and said, thank you. You made us look amazing. And that was one of the first times I ever started to understand what wrestling really was. That, wait a minute. So you're not just a jobber. You're serving a purpose that even when you're the low man on the totem pole as a young dragon versus the team they're trying to build immensely, there was a respect and an understanding. And it was really cool to see that. So going forward, I was always able to remember that that's how Taz and Sullivan treated my two friends. And then same for me. When I got those opportunities, it was really, really cool to start to understand that stuff.
Was it just as rewarding, and this might be a silly question, but was it just as rewarding to be a part of the ring crew for that company as it was to actually get your chance? Or is it like a progression there? Like what's that like?
Well, if you knew now what if I knew then what I know now, the fact that this arena has become legendary, the fact that that time frame in wrestling has become legendary, it is amazing. I was not there very long, but I was there at such an incredible time. For me to get advice from Dean Malenko, from Too Cold Scorpio, you got to remember something else. A lot of the legends or veterans you guys know now, Taz, Dreamer, these guys were just rookies starting off when I was there. They weren't the legends then. They were just the indie guys trying to build a company. But when a Dean Malenko came through, Shane Douglas, Road Warrior Hawk, these guys would come through, and it was like amazing because you got to witness like how fair they would be to the whole locker room. So I'm always consider myself blessed because I didn't have the, career. I don't ever refer to myself as a former ECW worker because I truly feel that it's almost a slap in the face to the true ECW workers like the Mikey Whipwrecks and guys.
Matt considers you a legend.
What?
Matt considers you a legend.
Yeah. At Chokeslams, I might be a legend because we were the first to do the whole suspended chokeslam, and that was pretty cool. That was a Dean Malenko collaboration, and that was really, really cool. But yes, I consider myself really, really lucky to be able to be there. That my buddy Mike Norman, he was the one that made the first banner that they airbrushed to turn it to Extreme. Like we were there when Eastern turned to Extreme, when Paulie took over from Todd Gordon, when when Shane Douglas threw the belt down. I was ring crew that night.
That's awesome.
And I didn't know then that these would become legendary moments 25 years later.
Of course. And look, I do think you're an ECW legend. You were a very important part of my discovery for ECW. You're one of the first people that was all over that our video. He was just taping the fucking shows off of whatever network was down in Philadelphia, but it meant a lot to me because I was getting introduced to ECW, previous to what I had known, what I'd found at 2 a.m. But this is the history of it. And here's Paul Lauria and Mikey Whipwreck, and there's a really interesting story. So I think I give you I'm not, there's no tongue in cheek. This isn't bullshit. These fuckers aren't trying to throw me under the bus. I was like super fucking jazzed, man, when I sent you the friend request and you were in. I was like, this is awesome. Don't look like me, Tony. I see you looking like that.
You're throwing me under the bus. I gave Paul Lauria my mother in a nightgown. What are you talking about?
that was me.
It's funny though.
Like mother away to guests.
It's my turf, Paul. That's my turf.
She actually texted me back. She can't wait to come back next week. So now we've created a monster.
That's amazing. Here's another fun fact for you guys when you watch that video back. We had no warning whatsoever. I thought I was working that night. I thought I was going to debut in a match or something. Paulie didn't tell us anything. All of those things you would see in any documentary or anything about how that locker room was, how grungy and nasty it was. But those Paul Heyman, speeches from the steps, that's all true. And it was very chaotic. Things would happen on the fly. And I had put on all my gear. And Paul Heyman's like, oh, he's yelling for me. He's like, Giant. I, again, just gave me a name. And I go running over to him and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what? He's like, why are you in gear? You're not wrestling. I'm like, I thought I was wrestling. Okay, get your clothes on. So I'm trying to get my clothes on because he's like, I need you at ringside. If you look at that segment where I jumped the rail and attacked Mikey, you can see my knee pads are still on underneath my jeans. And here's the best part about it was really quickly on the fly, because Mikey and I had always wrestled together, like from the backyard and all those nights in that abandoned gym. Mikey's a lefty, and he always had this bad habit of shaking hands the wrong way. Like he would, not wrong way. I'm a righty. I always shake predominantly with my right hand. And he says to me really quickly, he's like, yeah, make sure if you shake my hand, though, make sure you adjust the hands. And I didn't really understand what he said. Now I'm trying to fight my way around the audience, and I have to literally, for real, fight my way to the front row. And if you ever watch ECW from then, you know that's like prime real estate. Those guys aren't happy about me weaseling my way in because they don't know who I am, Yeah. And I fight my way to the front. And that one moment where Joey Styles starts talking and Mikey's standing there, Mikey reaches over and he goes to shake my hand and he shakes it. He adjusts it and he shakes right-handed. And now I'm screwed because the camera is literally this close to my face and I don't know how to throw a left-handed punch because I'm righty. So it's all just, the sweat starts beating. And the only thing I could think to do was punch him right in the face. And I punched him right in the face, lefty. And I hop that rail and I start going to town. And I'm like, I'm going to have to ask for forgiveness later. And I remember, I think it was Gary Pitbull Wolf took me aside and he goes, that was amazing. And thank God I did not try to hold back or try to work a punch or anything, because I probably would have never even gotten to the next week, because Mikey's eye was instantly black and blue. Like he literally, he receded me in our first match. He burst my eardrum in the first slap. But it's one of those things where it was like luck. I don't know that I did it by design totally. I didn't really want to punch, but I didn't know what else to do. There's a camera and I have to throw a left-handed punch that I don't know how to throw. And it's right there online, being recorded for TV. And if you watch that punch, you could slow-mo it. You could just watch his face just get all like distorted as I threw that punch right into him.
All I hear in my head is Mikey going, "Don't worry, you'll get it. It's coming. Yeah. Don't worry when it's coming."
He's yelling, "Do I owe you money?" as I'm hitting chairs. And here's the other thing. Again, being so new and not realizing it, he fell. He just bumped right off that punch. Like I just dropped him.
That's awesome.
And now he's laying on the floor, and I'm stuck in that crowd, and I didn't know what else to do. So I just hop over the railing and I drop on him. And I kind of hit an elbow. I didn't even do it by design. And then Cactus Jack takes me aside and he's like, "Listen, we got to talk about the elbow on the outside." I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do any, it was instinct. I didn't know where to go. Again, I'm not the biggest guy in the room. When I'm in the crowd, I got to fight for that stuff. There's a segment in the match where the fans are fighting me for a chair and I got to literally fight it back out of their hands. It was some fun stuff though.
It's so funny you say that about Cactus, though, because, by all accounts, and we've had him on the show a bunch of times, Mick Foley's a great guy, but he's very, sly protective of everything that he does. And it's so weird when you, when you say that, I can totally picture him, pulling you to the side and, just, "Hey, the elbow, huh?"
I think I was saved because the camera didn't really pick it up as an elbow. They kind of were on Mikey and just saw me kind of plop down on him. If they saw me setting up for an elbow, I think I really would have been in trouble.
Yeah, Mick Foley's reprimanded me a couple times. So yeah, I've gotten my earful from Mick. I opened for him a couple times doing comedy, and he got me. He got me.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we're on the line with Paul Lauria. He's ECW Legend. I don't give a shit what anybody says. He's also talent relations for Wrestling Is Now at Wrestling Is Now with 2 W's on Twitter, Instagram.com /Wrestling Is Now. Big show in 10 days, May 18th, Patch Hog, New York, Bull James, Crowbar, the Backseat Boys, the SAT. It's a who's who of independent wrestlers from the tri-state area. So if you can get to the Patch Hog on the 18th, check it out. If not, I heard a rumor they might be coming to Richfield Park, New Jersey in the summer. So if you can't make it to Patch Hog, you make a little note on your little calendar and you make sure you get to see Wrestling Is Now. 95, you're in ECW for only like 2 months. They blow you and Mikey off, and then you're back just for that one Heat Wave 96. And it's a very short, like 2-minute match. How did that all come about? And was there a plan to go past Heat Wave 96 for you?
I don't know that there was a plan. It was basically what had happened was ECW had come to Long Island to do like a house show. At that point, Bully Ray, who was originally from Long Island, he had just gotten involved with ECW, and I think he was making his way in with Paulie pretty well. And on the indie scene, me and Mikey and the guy, we would run like we were in. Once you get into ECW and once you cross that guardrail and you have that little name, suddenly you have carte blanche when it comes to the indie scene. Like everybody wanted to book us. Not that there was a ton of indies, but if there was an indie company on Long Island, we were in it, you know? And so we knew all the venues, and we would run at this one venue called the Deer Park Community Center quite frequently. And Bully Ray got wind of us being there, and he had gotten in there quick. Bully Ray was great at that. He'd get into a venue, he'd go to a show. If he liked the venue, he'd talk to Paul. He would sign ECW. Same thing with the Elks Lodge. The Elks Lodge was basically run. I was in an indie company called UCW, and Mikey came to a show with Bully, and next thing you know, Elks Lodge was picked up by ECW. So ECW had done a show on Long Island, and it's literally 15 minutes from my house where the show was. So I had gone in to just say hello and see everybody. And, you know, Paulie was great, open arms, and said, come down whenever, whether it was a week or two later, come on down. And as soon as I walked in, I didn't know what for or anything, but I came in and he said, the match was originally scheduled already. It was supposed to be Mikey and Sabu versus the Eliminators, but he just wanted to figure out something quick. And he's like, go out there, give me 5-6 minutes. But I honestly thought, why even go 5-6 minutes? It's Mikey with everything we had. I'd rather put him over strong instead of making it like, okay, we have our thing is back. Plus he's going this direction with the match. So we kind of just made it real fun, real quick. I got hit with total elimination afterwards, so it was fine. Nobody remembered me anyway after getting crushed. But it was good. It was a fun little thing. And then Mikey and Sabu went, and Mike really was he was on a real good trajectory at that point. That I don't know that coming back to the story without Jason, because I think they gave me somebody else at the time. I'm not really sure where it was going, and that was happening a lot as ECW got a lot of traction. That locker room. There was a lot of bodies in there looking for work. So I think you could have easily got lost in the shuffle. So I think we went to like one more show. We all hung out and they were trying to find something. And I was like, I'm going to stay home and do that thing. Because again, I wasn't really trying to pursue wrestling for a living at that point. So, you know, in hindsight, I don't know what could have been if I did, but you know, I didn't chase it as aggressively as some of the other workers would have.
Did Jason make you itchy?
Jason was actually really, really good. He was really No, Jason actually, what's cool about that was when ECW started to hit, being based out of Philadelphia predominantly, what happened was all the indies started picking up these guys. So like it was fun. We do indie shots and it would be us, but Jason would be on an indie show. Raven would be there. Tommy Cairo from back in the day would be there. Like it was always cool. Like, cause if you weren't in ECW, you were doing an indie shot with the guys anyway. And Jason, we actually had a couple of storylines woven into some indie stuff we did where I was now a baby face and it was against Jason, but you know, Jason was always good that way. And again, for me, being a little older than you guys, I remember watching Jason be an enhancement talent for WWE. Like I remember watching him on like, you know, on the MSG shows from WWF back in the day with guys like Skull Von Crush, who Skull is still one of, you know, he's super great with me. And he was a big part of helping me come through the business.
Paul, I don't know how much younger you think we are.
Yeah, we're old,
I
dude.
Appreciate it. One of us has shared a ring with Skull Von Crush.
Wait. Did you really?
Yeah, many moons
capacity
ago.
Or
Oof.
in a tell me about it.
Well, it was basketball '98. It was at one of the schools over here in Nutley. I want to say St. Mary's, and Skull had the privilege of being in a battle Royal Rumble style, which had no counter whatsoever. And yeah, he had to deal with about 19 or 20 jackoffs that had no idea what they were doing because I was freshly trained. I was maybe up at Gino Caruso's for about 6 months at that point, and we all thought, well, hell's bells, we could pull off a battle royal, can't we? Oh boy, did we ever fucking bomberino on that one.
Oh, how did
the
the
guy
guy
come in with
that? Because I don't know how far his patience would have went with that.
He was very understanding. Like, he actually talked to us. He was going over the finer points of kayfabe, which I don't think he needed to do for some of us, but for others it was definitely needed. But he was really cool. Like, we were working spots with him together, and there was some shit that we still didn't know. So he was just like, okay. And he actually took a step back or two. He was really cool with us, and he had no reason to be, but he was, and that was really cool of him.
Yeah,
and unfortunately he had to walk out of the battle royal because he was not slated to win. So he kind of just eliminated himself at one point, which is probably the smart thing to do. I don't think he wanted one of us jackasses tossing him out. That would not have been cool.
Yeah, Vito's great. He's always been good. He literally was like a big brother for me back in the day. We still keep in touch now, which is really, really cool. Yeah, it's interesting, then since we're similar in age and you're not that much younger than me, you guys understand that wrestling has evolved. So you meet some people in the business right now that are really they're really involved in like the current status of the business, where there's still a few of those old school guys that, they will take the time. They will talk to you. They'll try to explain kayfabe. They'll try to explain psychology. They'll try to explain all that stuff. And, because there is something to be said about storylines, and there's something to be said about actually, working with the crowd and not just having car crash matches, or train wrecks. And, full disclosure, man, when I was a kid and I didn't work that way, I was a total choreographed everything type of guy, because I was trying to swing for the fences because, again, I had the market cornered on small guys. There weren't other guys my size back in the 90s. Now everybody's my size. So you better be doing something different because everybody's doing that stuff now.
Yeah. Paul, real quick, we're going to let you go in a couple minutes, but I have a question for you.
Sure.
Since your last name starts with an L and your first name ends in an L, we kind of had a little fun before you joined us that it just kind of flows together like one name. Like, we kind of dubbed you Lauria.
I like it. No one's ever done that one, though.
And so, like, I was like, you know what? It sounds like a shampoo. And then Tony said, like, it sounded like, I don't know, like a medication. Like, if you're suffering, or
I'm gonna go medication.
Like, if you're like
over shampoo, definitely. Because I was like, all right, I can see the shampoo. You said medication, and instantly I thought I would see this thing like, can cause death, injury, or death.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. If you're suffering, don't take Lauria more than like 3 times a day.
Exactly, you will die instantly.
So let me ask you.
Well, let me ask you, Paul. If Lauria was a medication, what would it be used to treat?
That's a great question.
It would definitely help to reduce the risk of stunted growth.
So if you could brand Lauria, because I said it could also be a supermarket, like Lauria discount furniture, like it could be like anything.
It's funny, on the island there is a Lauria's 112 carpet, and everybody thinks I'm related to that, which I'm not. But no, I'm not feeling the supermarket thing.
Okay.
As much as I'm feeling that I'm definitely some sort of growth medication.
Gotcha.
What about a hotel's chain? You could do the Lauria Inn and Suites.
Lauria Inn.
That's not bad. It could be a restaurant.
Maybe a restaurant.
Peloria's. Yeah.
That could be
like
a good
Mama
one.
Peloria's making meatballs this
Mama
week.
Peloria's. You got to put the mama in there, though. The mama definitely worked. Definitely worked.
You could always tell people, no, those guys lay carpet. I munch it.
Whoa!
We're going.
That's what I would say.
Now we went total different directions now.
Lucky.
Lucky Peloria's.
That's outstanding.
Paul Lauria, president of Talent Relations Wrestling, is now. We look at the card, the posters. I've named a bunch of names. Who's somebody that the fans should keep an eye out on? Maybe a lesser known talent.
On the indie scene, I don't know that I consider them any of them lesser known as far as indie goes. But yes, what you're asking about is there's a few. I will say this: I'm not a big fan of this guy on a personal level, but there's no denying that he has every qualification that you need to make it, and that's the cause of it all. Joey Conway. Joey Conway has been making a lot of noise. Another guy that just is so believable is PJ Savage. This guy is just incredible when he talks. And this is what I mean when I was saying earlier, you know, there's these guys, none of them are huge guys by wrestling standards. And every one of these guys can go in the ring. At Wrestling Is Now, we made a point to say we are not just taking anybody and throwing them on a roster. More importantly than being able to go in the ring, you've got to be able to cut it on the mic. You've got to be able to carry those stories in between the shows. You know, this is 2023. We got podcasts and we got social media. Stories can be told where we can do our version of episodic television through the internet from one show to the next, but the guys have to be capable of doing this. You can't just have a guy cutting promos. I see it all the time, and I'm sure you guys do. There's plenty of guys that are great, but I think so many guys that are great, now we have to find who's exceptional. Who is really the guys you believe when you're watching somebody? Joey Conway, PJ Savage, Chris Cage. These guys are guys that I truly believe are destined to do great things. And I say it all the time. It is bittersweet for me because I truly am excited about working with them. But the best and worst day is going to come is when hopefully they get picked up and they're going off to AEW or NXT and they have to leave me to go do their dream, because I truly think that's what's going to happen with some of these guys.
Well, we're excited to see what happens. And if you're out there, you're listening, you're watching, you're checking it out, Wrestling Is Now. Wrestling Is Now on Instagram, at Wrestling Is Now with 2 W's on the Twitter machine. Wrestling Is Now, the Outlaw Show is not Outlaw Show. That sounds bad. Wrestling Is Now on May 18th, Stereo Garden, 9 Railroad Avenue, Patchogue, New York. Doors open at 7, bell times at 8. It's a great way to start off your weekend, getting to see some wrestling, some great talented individuals. And Paul's the man behind, he's one of the men, excuse me. You know,
no, he's the man, bro. You can
I would give the SAT some credit, but they have shitty internet, so they're still in the doghouse.
Yeah,
when they did our interview, one of them
this
at
is
least.
Lauria production.
Exactly. It's exactly.
Trademark
It's Wrestling Is
that.
Now
Trademark that
brought
right
to you
now.
by Peloria.
Peloria
And,
Enterprises. Holy shit, bro! You're getting back in the ring. You didn't even know it.
See that? Just check with your doctor first and call the pharmacy.
He could
Peloria
just
may
be
cause drowsiness. Do not operate heavy machinery when taking Peloria.
Exactly. May cause drowsiness or death.
Women who are pregnant or maybe nursing children should speak with their doctor.
Well, clearly we're going to cut a promo after this. Even if we don't own anything, we're going to make it up. We'll put Tic Tacs in a bottle, and we're going to cut a huge promo on this. This is amazing.
Paul, this has been an absolute blast. The whole Diana into Paul Lauria thing might be one of the greatest things that's ever happened on
Well,
this.
I don't know if this podcast could have went bad when you have a lead in like that. That was pretty amazing.
You set you up good.
The greatest.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give that to you guys. That was like, you know, when they put a new show on right after Raw because they want the show to do great. I mean, you guys set me up perfect. So that was a lot of pressure on my part, though. I came in I was fully dressed. I didn't know what to think.
God forbid our guest had clothes on.
I'm not gonna lie, I still don't know what to think. I know you've been out of the wrestling game for a while, so it doesn't necessarily a wrestling question, but I ask every guest. Oh man, Tony, does that mean I have to ask your mother too?
No.
When was the last time you shit your pants?
Oof. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go back. Let's go back maybe during COVID.
All right.
You know, you weren't comfortable going in a public restroom, so you definitely everybody was holding it at that time. That's right. You know, you're like, I'm not going there. I got to get home first. You know, listen, I didn't know if I went to the bathroom then. What am I going to hold my breath the whole time? You didn't know what you were getting into back then, so you had no choice. You're going back home. So let's call it 2019. It was only a little bit.
Is it brown?
I got to tell you, one of the best podcasts ever. You guys have great questions. You have great lead-ins. It's pretty great.
Hey, man, if it makes you feel better, I shit my pants Christmas morning having breakfast, and that wasn't even the last time I did it.
Well, why did you bring up the Christmas one? What was so special about that one?
It was the holidays. You know, baby Jesus.
It was Christmas.
It was like, you know, one baby and then a brown baby. What are you going to do?
All right.
I'm the fucking one with I'm the one with the pants shitting problem, but Tony shits his pants every fucking week.
I don't know if that's something we want to elaborate on. Why is this like a normal thing that we have a problem with it?
Because I'm getting old. I don't, you know, it is what it is.
That's totally not what happens when you get old. I'm older than you. It's not normal. That's not really what happens.
I mean, it's not like I'm completely like just dropping trow in my drawers, but you know,
the fact that it's even somewhat routine with you is not okay.
Paul, you have no idea.
Finally, a guest with a fucking brain in his head.
Matt, dare I say, top 5?
I agree.
Tony, let me ask you something. Is that a swivel chair, or are you literally sitting on a toilet that's set up to look like a chair?
No, this is just my throne, bro. It's a rocker too. So in case
I just want to make sure.
In case I got to shake it loose.
Because I could have swore I heard that flush, so I didn't know if it was a sound effect.
All right, so I can explain
over.
that. I could explain that. So I'm in a basement recording this, and the pipe that goes to our bathroom was literally right there.
He's lying. He's the one on the toilet.
So like if say my father uses the bathroom and he flushes, it literally comes down right here.
So listen, Papa Shining Wizards Kevin's dropping some
nothing
heat.
back right now.
Oh, I don't care. What the hell do I care?
I mean, think about this. Think about what you got. Think about what we've gone through in a half an hour. Nightgowns with moms. Trapping our pants on Christmas morning.
Stocking stuffers.
So-called legends.
That's right.
We've branded Polaris. Listen, mic drop. No one's stopping. I guess I'm coming back on tomorrow night because no one's beating this.
And you got to go back in the archives for sleep jacking, drinking my pee, and throwing up flowers.
Bring it.
Oh man, this was great,
Paul. This has been an absolute blast. We would love to get you back to promote Wrestling Is Now and just shoot the shit. This was a lot of fun, a great hang, and we're excited to see what the future holds for you, man.
Definitely. When I release my next product, you know, you guys will be the first. I'll probably call it Shining Wizard something, you know, just to give you guys a little plug. So
I need a plug.
Seriously, though, I appreciate the time.
Let the man speak.
I need a plug. If he's giving out plugs, send one to me.
You need a plug is right. You need it on Christmas morning is what you needed. You better plug that up.
It wasn't even under the mistletoe, Paul. Nobody got a chocolate kiss.
No, it was in a stocking. It's like, guess what you're getting for Christmas today? Merry Christmas, bitches.
Yeah, this ain't coal.
Yeah, is that a lump of coal? Because it's really squishy.
Ew.
Touch it more.
Touch it more. That's enough.
But thank you guys, in all seriousness, for having me. I really did appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, let's do it again, man. And like you said earlier, yes, we have Ridgefield Park, New Jersey coming up for Wrestling Is Now. We'll have June 16th. We have some other dates coming up. We do really have a packed schedule coming up this summer. So, you know, it would be awesome. We'll have you guys, we'll work on some stuff together. You guys are a lot of fun, and, you know, we'll do it again.
Welcome back anytime, Paul. Seriously, you got an open invitation. And tell Mikey we said hi. It's been a while.
Absolutely.
All right, buddy.
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, Paul.
Paul, thank you.
Lauria.
Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Paul Lauria, ECW Legend, President of Talent Relations. Wrestling Is Now at Wrestling Is Now with 2 W's on the Twitter machine, Instagram.com/Wrestling Is Now. 10 days from now, May 18th in Patchogue.
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 LI.
Patchogue.
Paul was great. I don't know what happened to this dude. Tony, your mother's a maniac. I love it, but
I
amazing. I'm so
everything about
sorry.
that, by the way.
Gold, dude. I was on the floor. I fell on the floor.
You left. You had to leave twice.
I fell on the floor. I didn't leave. I fell on the floor laughing.
She's a special gal. She is a special gal.
Oh, you ain't
Why have
kidding.
you been hiding her all this time?
I haven't. She's been on the show before. It's been a while though, and she hasn't joined us
Tony,
in the video.
Tony, the professional, brings in Paul Lauria. Amazing, brilliant.
You got to, bro. Dude, he was cracking up before he even hit the room.
Holy moly, crappy-oly.
Yeah, this is a great point by Mats Bach. This might be the hardest episode ever to name for sure.
No, if this isn't Lauria, we're doing something wrong.
Oh, that's a great call. Look at that.
If it isn't Lauria,
Problem
we're not
solved.
making it Diane's negligee or anything like that. So fuck off.
Cross it off the list.
Nope. I was not even going there, dude. I can't.
Dude, and you were the one that was like kind of like endorsing her to like.
I didn't think she was gonna go for it.
Like, what kind of weird, like beaver cleavage?
we went on a cruise once as a family, and we always had this gimmick in our heads. It was me and my two brothers, my mother and father, and we always had this in our head that we were the Griswolds because we grew up in the '80s, and the National Lampoon's movies were cool, and we would always watch them and whatnot, and so. We were on vacation. We were on a cruise. It was actually one of the early Disney cruises, and we sat with another family, and it was the same thing. Like mother, father, 3 kids. They had two sons and a daughter, right? So we get into an argument one night over dinner, and because we would say like, "Oh, we're the Griswolds." They say, "No, we're the Griswolds." And one of the boys goes like, "Well, we only have one extra kid," and we go, "Well, we only have one extra kid." And they go, "Yeah, but we got a daughter and a son." And my little brother, Nick, without missing a beat, goes, "Yeah, but my mom does Hey Big Spender in the shower."
That's the fucking potatoes.
And there might have been some truth to that. I don't really remember. It was a long time ago.
I don't.
Oh, boy. God bless Diana.
I can't wait to go back and watch that because I missed half of it. I was on the floor.
I really wish I would have saw you fall. I didn't realize you fell.
I couldn't see. I couldn't see because my eyes were so welled up with laughing tears. So like,
I'm not even joking. She texted me. She said, "Maybe I'll come back next week."
we gotta have to have a segment.
Fantastic.
Oh God.
Diana's I don't know, moment. I don't know.
Maybe we can put Diana over the top.
What's that old dime piece Diana?
I'm so happy I sent her.
Diana's 10 cents.
You son of
So
a bitch.
happy
You
I
sent
sent her the
link.
link. I wish I had thought about it earlier.
I knew that she wasn't going to be able to figure out at first. I told you last week.
It was I was trying to do it on the sneaky.
That's all right.
Sneaky
That's
link.
all right. It is what it is.
Shit. All right, man. We got it's we're going along here. Do we want to do Patreon and the network shit?
Yeah, I'll tell you this right now. Kate's joining us in a few. If she's not wearing a fucking thong and a fucking
Oh God. Oh right.
If Kate's not gussied up to top Diana, I don't know where we're going then. I think the show might be over.
I don't care. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
Christ, dude, really?
That was the wrong button. I want this one.
I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you.
That ain't me, Kate. I only have ideas.
Show up in a thong.
Well, listen, we need
That's what you're gonna do. The fucking interview like Ace Ventura.
You not know Kate?
She's not good.
No, not you. Tony.
Hey, a boy can dream, can he?
All right.
What are
Hey, Matt,
you
he
two doing?
supports
The
us.
two of you. Handsome Kevin's hitting on Tony's mom. His wife's in the chat room. Now you're saying a boy can dream. 7 minutes before Kate shows up and you just requested her to be in the thong. What the fuck are you?
She's got 7 minutes.
It's just a request.
Yeah, I mean, come on,
Matt, you wouldn't believe that I was the one that's been drinking tonight.
Oh no, we can. You had a few zingers at the top of the show.
Yeah, what happened to this, Kevin?
Because it was disarrayed, that array.
That's enough. We didn't even ask Diana about her bananas.
Next
Oh,
week.
what the
Next
fuck?
week.
All right, Matt, steer us in the right direction. We got people
I
that
don't know
support
where
us.
I'm gonna.
We got people that support us or something.
Yeah, go
I
do
don't
this
know.
shit. I want to get a drink. I'm fucking. I need a break. I didn't fall on the floor twice.
Just got
Holy
away from
shit.
us.
All right. Let's see, I got it somewhere in here. Ah. All right. The dogs are barking. You hear them out there. There I am. Look at me, New Japan expert. Yeah, I guess I don't know. We'll get to it at some point. But Handsome Kevin went 7-0 in his backlash picks. Look, if you enjoy this, God, I hope you do. If you don't enjoy this, you're fucking listening to the wrong show. You're an hour and 34 minutes into the wrong show. All right, this has been something else. Paul Lauria, great interview. Tony's mom will show up whenever she wants. We're having a hell of a time. Kate's joining us soon. It's as little as $1 a month. $1 gets your name mentioned every week on this show. $3 a month gives you access to all the bonus content. $5 a month will plug your social media, your website, whatever you want us to plug. $10 a month, you get entered into the monthly Patreon drawing, and you get to be a part of the show. Last week, Milwaukee Tom picked the Wizards Rewind. He sat in with us. William Mercier sat in on the Kevin Kelly interview. Kate's going to do Down the Aisle with us tonight. So there's a lot of great perks to being part of the Wizards, and we want you to be part of the show. So, those are the tiers. Again, $1 a month. You spend much more than that on your coffee probably every day. So at this time, let's thank those that support us. Kathy Hummer, Queen of the Shining Wizards, Manny Crazzo, the King of the Shining Wizards, Danny Rusinello, at Not Danny Russ, Anthony Rusinello, Sean Toe, Sean Calejo, Kate the Great, at Miss Kate Fabe. She's doing 1,000 podcasts, and I'm sure we're going to plug them all when she shows up here. Sour Graps, Mark Order, Fightful, After, SmackDown Rampage. Kate's doing it all. Fightful Select. Oh, you motherfucking internet. Matt Garifo at Whodat Matt 81. No relationship to the KJG. Christine Friesendorf, Mark Parloni, Thomas Kops, the Mott Spock at High Five Tom. His Marking Out ROH Revelry podcast is available on the Shining Wizards Network. He just dropped an episode with Brendan Haney, William Mercier, and a couple other dudes, so check that out. Kieran, my co-host for Bread Club. Bon Beasley, Eric Freeds, SJ McDonald, who just got her Shining Wizards t-shirt from Pro Wrestling Tees. She sent us a great picture on our Instagram, on our Twitter at Wizards Podcast. Matthew Birch, Michael Hammond, Braden Bergen, Brendan Haney, Ryan Schlong at Mark Order Pod. If you're listening for AEW talk, we're probably going to cover it a little, but if you want a lot of it, Mark Order Podcast is the way to go. Asian Joe, Mike Peterson at LOL Mike Peterson. He is the Can You Beat That champion who will be joining us in a couple weeks to defend that championship. Kevin Rogue at Year of Pod, at JJ Rogue Means, at TOTS Pod. They just announced their grand prize winner today. We're not going to give it away. If you threw your name in the hat, you did Get Off My Lawn, go listen. You might be a winner of many new figures, as I like to say. David Henry Bauer, he's back. Welcome home, David. Roll. And last, but certainly not least, did I say Mark Parloni? Mark Parloni. I think I missed Mark. I apologize. Last, but certainly not least, he's on the Twitter machine at W Mercier Jr., the one, the only, William Mercier Jr.
Lives are going to be a William Mercier's asshole. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
What are you eating?
You eating? I'm eating a fucking... I'm eating... This is the weirdest thing, right? It's a baked cookie. Do your shit again. Hurry up when he gets back on. Do it again.
He missed it, bro. He's going too long. The one, the only, William Mercier Jr.
Hold on 1 second. Lives are gonna be in William Mercier's hands. You know what I mean? That's right.
We also have a network, ShiningWizardsNetwork.com, home to a variety of great shows, Turnbuckle Throwbacks, Year of Pod, ROH Revelry, the Marking Out thing.
Couch Pod, 50th
30
episode.
Yeah, 30 screams or less.
Yep.
Inclusive breakdown.
All new episodes this week, except for Phil.
Tony, what are you doing?
I'm fucking showing off my tits.
All right.
It's a family thing. You don't understand.
What is that? An ice cream truck on your shirt? What is that?
It's Bob's Burgers, baby.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So
well,
there's Bob and Linda and the kids.
Yeah, and the Belchers. I get it.
The Belchers.
I get it.
We call my house on Saturday. It's full of the Belchers.
Do we want to? Is there? I mean, Kate's going to join us any minute now. Is there anything from Backlash we want to talk about?
Nope.
How awesome it was.
Brock was hard way, which was fucking incredible.
I'm telling you right now, I want to move to Puerto Rico. It seemed like great people down there.
Really?
Oh yeah. Did you not feel that crowd?
There was high energy,
No.
not the shitty tag team.
Oh, shitty.
Rage and Chaos? No.
What? No.
That was high voltage.
Beware.
Yeah, I went high
Shit,
voltage with it.
Leave. Get out.
Well, see you later.
Kenny Chaos is a former WCW tag champion with which other wrestler?
Rick Steiner.
Rick Steiner.
You fucking A, dude.
Oh, do we have to bring you back in, handsome? Okay, no.
No, I'm here.
All that, right?
I don't see a thong, boys.
Take it up with her, brother.
Well, see you later.
Tony, like this is like
What the fuck?
The
I thought
worst-
Tony was going to be in a thong when I got on here. That's what I was told.
Oh, is that what you were going for?
Yeah, I thought Tony was going to be showing them cheeks.
Yeah, here
go.
we go.
You
Meat to
idiots.
meat.
If you're going to mark me in a thong, you put it behind the paywall. Good. There it is.
A little
Work
treat
it.
for you.
First of all, don't you idiots. Fucking Nosferatu up there just decided to throw it out there after his mom fucking showed up at fucking 65 and over cover lady. Jesus Christ.
I mean, my goodness. That's paywall content, though, if I've ever seen it.
That's at
My
Patreon.
God.
Coming to Patreon soon. Diana's negligee.
It's what- OnlyFans, brother. Make it happen.
Probably good.
I want no part of this, Tony. I'm out.
You started it, you fucking hand job.
Yeah, I didn't think she was gonna show up in her fucking nightie, bro, trying to seduce handsome Kevin.
You leave her alone.
Thank you.
I'm
Alright.
leaving her alone, but I'm not gonna exploit her for like OnlyFans and more Patreon subscribers.
Well, it's her decision, man. All right. People make their own choices in life.
That's right.
She wants to do an OnlyFans. Bless her.
Tony.
She wasn't hiding it. She was not hiding it. You goaded her on, and she was not hesitant at all.
Nobody goaded her on.
No, Tony did.
A little bit.
That's even worse.
I know. I didn't say it was a
Tony,
good
I'm in
thing.
your camp here. For once, I agree with you. Can you fucking say something?
I really thought she didn't have anything on because all I saw was her shoulders, and I'm like, "Are you clothed?" And then that opened the fucking door.
There was a concern for me as well when I first saw her on.
Right? Am I wrong?
Diana, we might want to maybe get you a nightie, get you something going there.
She had it.
Holy shit.
Nighty.
Well,
That's
Kate, how are you, Kate?
I'm good. How are you guys? It's been a long couple weeks, but I'm here. I'm happy to be here. It's been too damn long.
I've been
Missed
a
you
little
guys.
sick, but I've been taking my Peloria, so I feel better.
There you go. That's what's up.
Is it? Do you need a prescription for Peloria?
Of course you do. You have to take it under doctor supervision.
Scott George, no thong for Kate, but best bangs in the business.
Thank
Oh
you.
boy.
Thank you. They're my trademark.
Do you want us to go full picture on you?
You can if you want.
Is that what you want?
I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
God, why is it so creepy?
Yo,
Says the guy who was like, Kate better show up in a thong.
yeah.
Did I say better? Yeah, I kind of did, I guess.
Yeah,
you did, you fucking ghoul.
Yeah.
This is like nothing but trouble when I'm
I'm the ghoul. He's going, do you want to be full screen, Kate? It's up to you.
That's not, no, Tony, that's not nearly as bad as what you did.
Oh, come on. But Matt and Scott both sniffing around over here going, hey, your bangs look fantastic tonight.
That's a
Do you want to be full screen? Oh. Is that what they call it these days? The kids, they call it going full screen?
Just because your creepy mind goes there doesn't mean that Scott George and Shining
It's like,
Wizards
holy
Smash
shit.
minds are
Tony's
there.
mom was showing her negligee. Paul Lauria was fucking talking about shit in his pants. And Kate was going full screen, baby. Episode 636, motherfuckers.
Come get your kicks on Route 636.
It is a difficult act to follow. I'm not gonna lie. Between
God, all we need is the captain showing up with some fucking awful fucking puns.
Please be careful what you wish for. He has access to this. I can't not.
It's true.
Well, Kate was the what's the month before May? April Patreon winner. What?
No, you nailed it. Also,
I put you over for your conversions from Fahrenheit to Celsius last week, and this week you can't figure out what comes before May.
Guys, until our New Japan road trip, this man did not know that the days of the week started on Sunday. He's not great with the calendar.
My days of the week start on Monday.
Sure, but like when you look at a calendar, the week
We've had
starts.
this conversation ad nauseum, people.
We did.
Everyone's calendars are different too. Calendars on the phone, some of them start on fucking Monday.
Okay.
What do you even mean?
He doesn't know.
What do you mean? What do I even mean?
No calendar on the planet starts on Monday.
Oh, on your phone, there's calendars that start on Monday.
On your phone. All right.
Now look, I don't have
dude.
mine set. No,
dude.
I didn't
May
have,
7th right there. It's a Sunday. See
I
that?
don't. I also don't have mine start, but you can. People do that.
Okay, Matt.
I hope you're happy, Kate. You're fucking bang.
Oh, I am.
You're fucking sick of fans to watch you. Make her big.
I'm
Make her
on your
big.
show, idiot.
I know, but I thought it would, bring in more viewers. But then, fucking Tony's mom had to blow the roof off the joint. There's no coming back from that.
Look, that probably brought in way more viewers than I ever could. God bless her. She was cracking me up because she's like in her 90, but she's like, oh, my glasses. Like, I was dying. Dying. What a gem. And Paul Lauria was great too, man. Awesome.
The greatest
good time with
1-2
him.
punch in the history of the show. Diana and Paul Lauria.
Back to back.
Holy shit.
What a lead-in for Paul Lauria.
So we had the 1-2 combo, and now we got the uppercut.
That's
with
it.
KTG.
Sorry, is this the murderer's row of guests?
That's it.
There you go.
Nailed it.
Well, we're
Nailed
gonna go down the aisle tonight with Kate.
Let's go down the aisle, baby.
Oh,
this is what
shit.
this is what Kate wanted to do.
It is.
She'd want to try to reclaim her Can You Beat That Championship, I guess.
No, the moment's passed, and my paper belt, I don't know where it is. It would be a whole thing.
Oh, boo.
Big old thing.
Would it take you more time to put on a thong or make a paper belt?
I mean, make a paper belt. I put a lot of effort into that piece of shit. Are you kidding me?
Oh, don't call it a piece of shit.
I mean,
It's not like Matt would have mailed you the real one anyway.
Fucking random enough. You think I'm mailing it to that fucking slob Mike Peterson? I gotta look at his stupid fucking Photoshop. He puts his head on fucking Roman Reigns.
He looked great, first of all.
Who?
Second of all, I love Down the Aisle, and I always thought, until yesterday, I was wrong, that you guys chose a card and watched it. I did not realize you guys knew as much as you did off the top of your head, so kudos, because that's awesome. But it's kind of fun because I'm a newer age fan, so Matt and I were like kicking around ideas of what to do.
And this is like right around when you came back into it, right? 2009, if I'm not mistaken.
So this was the first pay-per-view I ever watched, was Royal Rumble 2009. I kicked around like some other ones. Matt and I were going back and forth, but I was like, this is actually hilarious. So
perfect. I'm a Royal Rumble. Like I didn't even need to watch like this show because I know it from back to front. In terms of the Royal Rumble match, the undercard threw me for a loop ski.
The undercard is what got me the most.
Yo,
I was
like
what happened?
I know I don't want to jump ahead, but we'll get to it, and I'll tell you what really. I remember everything about this show, but one aspect of it, and we'll get to that as we proceed through the progression of the show. If you will.
Well, I mean, Kevin, we can get right to it because there really is no progression. If you've never tuned in before, Down the Aisle, we essentially take a wrestling card and we kind of go over the card, and then it kind of takes us wherever our minds take us.
Yes.
And well, if you've sat through the last hour and 49 minutes, you know it can
This whole
be
show is
Nowhere
down
good.
the aisle.
Nowhere good.
fucking anywhere. Okay, we were quoting fucking White Men Can't Jump before the show started, just to give you some context.
You lost the money again, Billy.
So the 2009 Royal Rumble took place January 25th at the Detroit, Michigan Joe Louis Arena.
Oh shit! Bring your guns
Not only did this all ties
and your
together
water.
wonderfully, we not only had Raw and SmackDown, but there was also an ECW brand involved in this pay-per-view.
Not a ECW brand, the ECW brand, the WWE ECW brand.
That matters. The home of Christian Cage, the home of Zack Ryder.
Hate every single one of them.
CM Punk, Mike Knox, Mordecai, or whatever the fuck his name was.
His name was
Kevin
Mordecai.
Thorne.
You got it.
Shelly Martinez.
Oh no, wait, no, he wasn't. He was Kevin Thorne in ECW.
yeah.
He was
Kevin
Mordecai.
Thorne.
Kelly the exhibitionist.
And the match opens with the ECW World
Kelly's
Heavyweight
got
Champion.
nothing on Diana. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a great
No
point. Yeah, Diana's a little bit of an exhibitionist herself. Now that I think
All
about it.
right.
Hey, you watch your dirty mouth.
Diana.
You guys are about to do. Let me do this.
Just to be clear,
Yes.
Tony could only rattle off like 4 of the real ECW guys. So keep it in your fucking hands.
He knows the Giant.
I know Paul Lauria.
That's right.
Yeah, but according to you, he wasn't in the real ECW, was he?
Like who? Ezekiel Jackson, Marcus
you're-
Corvon.
Now you look shit up.
No, I didn't.
Striker, Big Daddy V.
Fucking
Fraud.
Matt Stryker was there. Kurt Angle was there. Big Show, Batista for a little bit anyway.
Sylvester Turkai.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Elijah
CM
Burke.
Punk was there. Tommy Dreamer and the Sandman were there. The zombie, rest
All
his
right.
soul.
Yeah,
Danielson for like
or
a minute.
are we?
Come on, man.
You're such a fraud.
Who are the other two? Who are the other two women in the fucking
Layla
Extreme-
L and Brooke Tessmacher from Impact.
Wow.
I didn't even have to say Extreme Expose. I
Nope. No.
know
I
you
was a
want
big-
me.
I was a big
I know you
WWE
want
ECW mark.
I know you do.
I don't know the song.
Fucking we're
I
dancing
would
to
not
Pussycat Dolls.
sing that in the same episode that your mom was on here to negligee.
Oh,
It's way
alright.
too easy to clip. It's way too easy to
There's-
clip.
We're already beyond that, Kate. Like it's literally so far beyond that. Like that was like the least of what he did wrong today.
There's a lot.
At least I wasn't going column A, column B with my fucking hands.
No, it
in
was
the air, dude.
disarray, data array.
Yeah.
I don't know how many more times I have to say it.
Just
I
keep doing it,
will-
bro.
Yeah,
Do the
just,
rest of the
what was
show.
it again, Kevin?
See, that is something I will not be joining in on. Thank you.
No, good for you.
I don't need that on the internet.
No. No.
Hey, SRS, what do we got here?
Oh, the first asshole to clip it, that guy.
Oh, good thing you didn't wear the thong Tony requested.
I'm upset that Tony's not out here with them cheeks. Come on. Give the people what they want.
Please don't Rikishi us, please.
Who was the dude that also wore the thong that would like dance on people? The big fat guy.
Tenson?
No, what the fuck was
He was
his
a writer
name?
for them.
Big Dick Johnson.
Big Dick,
Yeah, Big Dick Johnson.
Big Dick. Big
I prefer
Dick.
my tick to go. Poor Danhausen.
Your
And
fucking
Kate
fan has a
saves
picture
the
quit
show.
the business.
Danhausen left.
So perfect.
Can't
Dick to
handle my
go.
jokes.
Smack.
Boom. Gone. Very nice. Very
All
easy.
right.
All right, can we get into this card?
Yeah.
All right, so the first match is for the EC. Well, there was a dark match.
Oh, do tell.
Jimmy Wang Yang and Paul Burchill.
Great, a fake cowboy against a fake pirate. Matt, how you feeling about pirates in wrestling?
Still don't like him, man. Not a fan. Worst elbow drop in the history of professional wrestling.
Yeah.
Jimmy Wang Yang deserves love. That guy ruled. I don't care what anyone says.
How are you saying?
Go ahead, Hansel,
A
Kevin.
fantastic elbow.
What?
Right? Fantastic. She has a fantastic elbow drop, and Paul Burt. Hey, cocksucker, put him on ears.
No, I'm trying to make sure.
Get ears, yeah, get ears, get ears. And I thought Paul Burchill's entrance was actually kind of cool. He came swinging down, right? No, all right.
Oh, he didn't come out. He didn't come out with Katie Burchill here, did he? Was she
remember, he swung on the rope.
Yeah, he came in from literally like he was like swinging from a chandelier on like some big fucking bull rope.
Well, of course. What could possibly go wrong in WWE having done something like that?
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was fucking entertaining. Like I don't hate it at all for what it was at the time. Like it's better than an incest angle with his sister. How about that?
I mean, low bar, but yeah.
Fair enough.
An incest angle. She's not a bad one to have it with.
No, definitely. She's a tall drink of water, that one.
A ripe tomato.
Oh, she's so sweet.
I talked to her. I talked to her to Wrestle Con Fest.
Yeah, she's so sweet. She was very nice.
Winter. She's been at a bunch of shows.
Winter.
You're right. I do hate fucking pirates, Scott George. Especially Kerry Sane and her shitty elbow drop.
What's so shitty about it? Do you think it's like her form in the air? Is that what makes it shitty? Like that
she looks like a fucking wacky wild inflatable man jumping off the top rope because she weighs fucking 7 pounds.
I don't know. I think it adds a little element to it.
Yeah, you suck, Kerry. That's why she's not a champion.
Well, neither's money.
Not yet.
Not yet. She's a has-been, bro.
She's going for
Jack Swagger, Matt Hardy.
She's going for that women's New Japan Strong Championship now.
Gives a shit.
Another tournament, Tony.
Oh, don't even get me started.
You got a better chance of me enjoying a tournament than you do having Kate come on the show with a thong.
I mean, yeah.
Wait, I didn't strike that. Reverse it.
I mean, correct.
Correct, ding.
Ding.
All right, boys and girls. I'm so sorry, Kate.
Yeah, I apologize, Kate.
No, fuck no.
Come on. If I could handle getting my balls busted, we would have stopped being friends a long time ago.
Yeah,
come
Jesus,
on.
man.
I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before.
Yeah, all right, great. Everybody's gonna come on everybody. Thanks. Jack off. Oh, it's not me pressing the buttons. How dare you press those buttons, Tony?
Yep.
There you go. What do you say? A little this, a little that. How did it go?
He nailed a turkey from the rear.
Shampoo and conditioner, Kevin.
Paul Lauria.
Oh,
Jack
boy.
Swagger, the ECW champion.
Fuck yeah.
Defeated Matt Hardy.
We the people. Dun, 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 dun,
Why?
That. He's the real American at this point.
He's a jack off.
I felt like him and Miz started getting heated up around the same time, and I just felt like they should have just been some frat bro tag team gimmick. Before Miz turned into like musty TV guy, they both struck me as very just dumb frat boy gimmicky dudes.
Well, Miz had already been established at this point in 2009. He was already tag team champions with John Morrison. So Miz is already on his way to us. The dirt sheet was huge back then. That was a big deal on the internet. So I understand your point. Because if you watch Miz on the Real World, he was a complete bonehead, knucklehead weirdo.
It felt like something they should have leaned into. And Jack Swagger, to this day, I'll never understand what that guy has any business doing on a wrestling TV.
I like him now. I never understood putting the world title on him.
I like him now with his fucking dumb purple hat. Get out of here.
I freaking love it. I love him in the Jericho Appreciation
His
Society.
ceiling is being Jericho's 5th best lackey. That guy,
which is fine for him now because we're talking about a show in 2009.
He's been doing this for 4 years. It's the same position. He's done nothing.
But
he's better than Tyrus. I'll put it there.
Listen, everybody's better than Tyrus. We know this.
Yeah, but Tony, the guy had a hell of a run, bro. He was a world champion, and then which was probably not warranted. And then he became a top contender for the world title when he against Del Rio.
He should have won that at that WrestleMania 29. That
Yes.
whole gimmick with Uncle Zeb.
Yeah,
that was.
And then of course Del Rio leaves, and of course, Del Rio's a story for another day. But then Del Rio comes back with Uncle Zeb, right? If I'm not, and then Jack Swagger challenges him at that show, right? Or is my timeline wrong? Because Alberto Del Rio does get managed by Uncle Zeb at some point.
Well,
I thought Cesaro did.
But they both did, and they were the Real Americans, which was a tag team, which made no sense because Cesaro was in it. But
well, I think that was the
after
idea, right?
After WrestleMania 29 is that Raw is where Dolph cashes in and beats Del Rio.
Right. So Del Rio is the champ going into that match and retains, and then against Swagger, and then he challenges him again the next night, and then Swagger beats the shit out of his ankle and all that stuff, and then Ziggler cashes in because I was there for that bad boy.
Yes, delicious. Monday Night Raw, Ziggler cashes in.
I was there for that too, and I would say that crowd was the coolest live moment I had as a wrestling fan until maybe Danielson Omega, maybe pop wise until I saw Adam Cole live, because Adam Cole's pop live is deafening.
So
but that was like one of the coolest live moments that I ever got to see with Ziggler.
My top two are the Ziggler moment and when Triple H came back in 2002 at the Garden. I was there for that.
That's fair. Okay.
In December, so like those were like that place was shaking, like the floor, like the seats, everything was shaking.
Shaking like Michael J. Fox in the DeLorean.
All right, and Lauria.
Let's see.
That's what it should be, a Pelorian.
Okay, so
Matt Hardy at that time, like, was this?
Matt Hardy was moved to the ECW brand. He was the champion. And he had lost it to Jack Swagger either the week before or 2 weeks before.
He was version 1 at this point?
No, he was. Oh yeah, I mean, I guess he was still version 1, but he was in the draft, and he got drafted to ECW along with I think Shelton Benjamin got drafted to SmackDown, and Chavo got drafted to ECW or some bullshit like that, and so Matt Hardy was, and this is setting up bigger things for Matt Hardy, obviously losing the belt to Jack Swagger, because we know what he does later on in the show where he turns on Jeff, which we see Jeff lose the WWE Championship to Edge because of Matt Hardy. And then we see a very forgettable Matt Hardy heel turn and a heel run for the second time, turning on Jeff. And then that lasts maybe a little bit past WrestleMania, because I think they have I want to say they have a stretcher match at WrestleMania, or they have some sort of match. And then Matt Hardy comes back and makes the save for him against the Hart Dynasty, and they're all reunited again. Yay!
So that would be WrestleMania 25 you're thinking of?
Oh, yeah.
Right after, Matt and Jeff had an Extreme Rules match at WrestleMania 25.
I feel like I remember the Twist of Fate being a really big part of that, like him being
the match nobody wanted.
And this is where Matt Hardy started wearing like actual wrestling trunks for the first time, like ever.
It looks so weird. I remember that so vividly.
And he had like the skeleton key logo, like not like the actual skeleton, but like he had like a key on his gear, and it was like, I didn't hate it, because it was like a different heel version of Matt Hardy, and it's another case of Matt Hardy totally reinventing himself, but they didn't stick with it, and they put the Hardys back together. I think like later on that either that spring or that summer, they put them back together, saved them from a beatdown from the Hart Dynasty, I believe, and somebody else. So yeah,
I do feel like it wasn't until recently people like gave Matt Hardy the credit he probably deserves as how often he's like reinvented himself. Like, I feel like everybody talks about that with Jericho, but nobody really gave that much credit to Matt Hardy until kind of like those more recent runs when he started with the broken stuff. And like, I'm glad he's more in that conversation.
I think he's easily up there with the Jerichos and with the I don't even
Regal
know who else.
And
I don't even know. I wouldn't put Riddle anywhere near that group.
No, Regal. William Regal, I think it's in there.
Okay.
Yeah, like in that conversation a lot. But
well, it's funny because Jericho and Hardy both have the same belly nowadays. So
they're there for the purpose they're there for, especially Matt Hardy.
Yeah, the bellies. It's called them beers. Glug glug glug.
Listen, I drink a whole lot of beer.
Was Matt Hardy still smacking tomatoes at this juncture?
Yes.
Smacking tomato.
I can smack a tomato.
So after
whoa, yeah!
To tie this all together, after the Royal Rumble, Teddy Long announced that Matt Hardy requested to go to the SmackDown brand.
Player.
So then Hornswoggle steals the ECW title from Jack Swagger. Now we have
Is
Jack
that
Swagger.
the highest regard the ECW title had ever been held in? Like in
No,
all
Vince
of its
McMahon.
lineage?
I will
Vince
kill
McMahon
every
won it,
single
win.
one of you, sneak in
Definitely.
your house and murder you.
Do-Rag Vince, ECW champion.
So then I guess Swagger was in a program with Finley, who was
Yes.
Hornswoggle's father.
And then that led to Christian's comeback.
And then Matt, as Kevin said, shows up on SmackDown. He has no remorse for what he did to Jeff. He considers him no longer his partner or sibling.
Whoop-de-doo.
Those
Hey,
are harsh
man.
words. Hey, Tony, yeah. You have brothers?
You can smack a
fucking-
tomato.
You've
Wouldn't
got a
abandon him.
family.
Wouldn't want to fight him at WrestleMania. What the fuck's wrong with people?
You wouldn't want to fight either of your brothers at WrestleMania?
No, I want to be their tag partners. We're the Maximos. We're not the fucking jabrones.
Be a big payday, brother.
Payday for who?
The one-on-one match with you and one of your brothers.
No, me and my brothers against the Usos and fucking Solo.
Tony
What else?
Schiavone.
I got the fucking spike, but I bend fucking Solo over and give him the old fucking high hard one. Tomoa! Yoink! Lucky.
There was a women's match that followed the season.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Melina becomes the WWE Women's Champion.
She become it.
I knew you were going to do that.
By
I
defeating
knew it.
Beth Phoenix, who had Santino Marella in her corner.
Of course.
The greatest
How
intercontinental
The
champion of all
glamour's
the
on.
time.
The glamour's on. The honky tonky man.
The honky tonk
Do they have the match lengths listed for whatever you're looking at?
Oh yeah, you want the length?
Of
Jesus
the match,
fucking
yes.
Christ, Tony.
5 minutes and 56 seconds. She said the length,
Yeah,
right?
he actually had it.
Of the match.
Yeah, I know.
yes.
Kevin, get your mind out of the fucking gutter with your fucking rinse on, rinse off, whatever the fuck you did.
No, disarray that
Column
already.
A, column B.
Just a little beyond the breaking point.
Little chocolate, little vanilla, you know.
That is furious right now.
Kate, no, not at all. Kate, how's your memory of, like, okay, you get back into wrestling. This is the first pay-per-view you watched. Like, is there any lasting impression that Melina and Beth Phoenix and Santino Marella leave on you?
So to clarify too, this was not me getting back into wrestling. This was the first wrestling pay-per-view I'd ever watched ever. Like I did not watch wrestling before 2009 ever. Which is why, like, when Punk came along, I had one foot out the door because I was just like, well, this John Cena guy just beats everyone. This is so boring. So that's kind of where that came from. But, like, the women's matches, I remember thinking that Beth Phoenix was, like, kind of just, I was so impressed by, like, her aura and her presence and, like, what a badass she was. I had no idea what the fuck she was doing with Santino at all. Like, it made, when you're watching for the first time, you don't understand, like, how those pairings can be valuable at all, I don't think. So I was just like, what? And, like, Santino, when you first see him, I don't think he's necessarily a guy that, as a casual or whatever, you're first like, oh, that guy's great, and I understand what he does here. You're like, what the fuck is that, dude? And so with Beth, it was one of those things too where when you're in the beginning of watching, you're like, well, she should just like smush this other girl to death. So that was kind of how I felt. And then I was like, oh, but this is a program for dudes. And look at this lady's entrance with her splits.
Yeah, dudes. Look at the butt cheeks.
I mean, come on. The Melina splits were S tier. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend. That was an entrance that people enjoyed. But it wasn't really until it was hard to get invested in any of it because so much of it was like hair pull bullshit. It wasn't really till like AJ Lee came along. I remember she took that bump from the Big Show and everybody was like, holy fuck, she took that bump from the Big Show. And they just started to kind of like give her an inch, and she would take a mile every time she was on screen. And I was like, oh, maybe something different's happening here. Because even as a woman watching, I feel like you still viewed it as like the piss break match because everything was the same and pretty boring. I remember really liking Mickie James the first time I saw her. I remember thinking Beth Phoenix was cool. I remember thinking Natalya was probably good at this, but boring. But other than that, I was just like, they're all kind of just read as the same to me.
One thing I learned about Natalya as time went on, she like if they mic'd her up during matches, she talks so much shit. She's hysterical.
Stop it!
Hysterical in the middle of
Stop
matches.
it!
Go back and watch anything from the very beginning of the pandemic era, like when she's wrestling like on Raw or SmackDown, and it's just all you hear is them talking to each other. Fantastic.
Stop it!
All right, yeah, we get it, Natty. Wonderful.
The first like feud I was probably invested in was her and Beth, and then they abandoned it and they made her fart. Like that was like what I remember.
Well, in fairness, you don't want her farting on the Glamazon. That would just be fucking.
No, that would be
wrong.
gross and gnarly.
Yeah.
But I'm sure plenty of dudes are ripping ass in the ring.
Oh God,
but
plenty of
they
them are
like
shitting their-
had this story that you could finally buy into, and then they just completely threw it to the side. Like nothing ever got resolved out of it. It seemed like it could have been a Mania thing, and they got scratched. Like just never took off.
I wonder how many women shit their pants in the ring. Like,
Yeah,
I like
start
if Moolah ever took a shit.
I've asked. They don't answer. They
You
don't-
do. That's actually true. You do ask.
they're not
I
comfortable.
have pooped my britches, darling. Fucking Moolah. Oh my God, Mae Young. She probably fucking whiskey shits.
Wolf Moolah.
Who wants to see diarrhea? Glug, glug, glug.
Probably had the shits during her hand baby birth.
Oh my God, imagine. Oh, dude,
What happened
imagine
during
she-
pregnancy?
like fucking just on the doctor.
Probably. Sad. That poor doctor.
I'm sorry, Matt. Continue.
Next is the singles match for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh,
as
boy.
John Cena defended against John Bradshaw Layfield, who had Shawn Michaels in his corner.
Oh, this is when my Shawn Michaels was poor.
Yeah, this is what I don't remember at all.
Yeah,
about
this Shawn Michaels was poor and
And
fucking.
Shawn Michaels was JBL's employee. I
Yes.
don't remember anything about
This is a tale as old as time. We had Nikolai Volkov with the $1 Million Man. We
Yeah,
had
but
the
Nikolai,
big.
come on, you're not. All right, stop it. Stop yourself.
No,
Nikolai
dude.
Volkov
I like
and
it.
Shawn Michaels.
Yes,
Come
there
on.
might as well be the same person, Kevin.
And they did the
listen,
same
that's
shit with
'cause
the.
that's your Shawn Michaels hate shining through.
No, they did the same shit with the Big Show later on too. Didn't the Big Show fucking wasn't he like Stephanie's slave or Triple H's slave or some shit?
I think you could
They
say
used to make him cry. Remember they made him cry
How'd they
Big
make
Show
him
always
cry?
cries.
because he needed the money. Little boy blue.
So
The first moment I remember being like, I might have to abandon this. This show's really fucking stupid. Was the Vicky Guerrero Edge Big Show love triangle? If you remember that, I was like, I think it was Edge, Vicky Guerrero, and Big Show in a love
wasn't it
triangle,
Edge,
and I was
Vicky
like,
Guerrero and Crystal Marshall.
I was like, I might need to not watch this show anymore. This is too low for my brain to do.
I thought that I didn't realize Big Show was involved in a love
I think
triangle.
it was Big Show.
I thought wasn't Crystal Marshall, Bobby Lashley's ex, the wedding planner for Edge and Vicky Guerrero's wedding, and then Edge got with Crystal Marshall, and like that's the only love triangle I remember between Edge and Vicky.
Big Show was mixed up in one of those love. I remember Big Show and Vicky Guerrero. I just fleeting memory of it, but he was definitely involved in it somewhere.
Okay, no, because like I know he was definitely involved in their story for sure at some point.
I found a list.
Of love triangles.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Wait. Can we take some guesses?
I mean, there's 10 of them.
Okay, well, I mean, there's got to be Hogan, Savage, Elizabeth on
I
there.
hope so.
There's got to be Triple H, Test, and Stephanie.
Triple H, Kurt Angle,
Kurt and Stephanie.
Okay, let me give you guys a little context to this. These are 10 wrestling triangles you completely forgot about.
Triple H, Trish Stratus, and Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let's see. Now these are forgotten ones.
Triple H, Katie Vick, and Kane.
Will you let Jesus fucking Christ? Tony.
Lita, Snitsky, and Kane, right? The baby kicker.
That's a good
I
one.
wish I could forget about that one.
All right. Well, number 1 is Big Show, Edge, Vicky Guerrero.
All right.
WWE forced a love triangle storyline heading into WrestleMania 25 when having Big Show join a triple threat match with Edge and John Cena for the World Championship. The storyline featured Vicky Guerrero having an affair with Big Show behind Edge's back.
That's a
Big Show and Edge having issues created the reason for a triple threat match with Cena having the face roll to even things out. Fans would have preferred the legendary Edge versus Cena rivalry having a singles match instead of an unnecessary love triangle.
No way.
This list is a little fugazi. All right, number 2 is Shawn Michaels, Rick Martel, Sensational Sherry. Everyone remembers that.
Everyone remembers that, yeah.
No punching in the face match at SummerSlam 92.
Number 3, Scott Steiner.
God, is it Medeja involved?
Stacey Keebler and Test?
Correct, Tony.
Oh, Stacey Keebler and Test, WWE. Okay.
I love testicles.
No straight males forgetting a Stacey Keebler love triangle.
Towson University, shout out. Boom.
Goldust, Pillman, Reynolds is one, but that didn't get the
that's
playout
good.
because he died.
Yeah.
The John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Lee storyline.
Oh, all right, yeah.
Oh, is there a John Cena, Zack Ryder, Eve Torres in there?
That is number 8.
There you go.
Unforgettable. Him getting wheelchaired off the ramp was unforgettable.
Kane, Matt Hardy, Lita. I feel like that's not forgettable.
No, that was a big
Yeah.
deal.
Sort of forgot about it.
There was a love triangle between Perry Saturn, Raven, and Terry Runnels.
Forgettable.
I
100%
don't know.
forgettable.
Yeah.
I know Saturn was with Terry, but I didn't realize Raven had anything to do with that.
You're welcome.
The Radicals joining WWE saw them all have different character directions. Perry Saturn entered a relationship with Terry Reynolds as his manager and girlfriend. However, a face turn when he came when his head was a mop. An argument can be made for Mop.
Yeah.
An argument can be made for Moppy as the third party in the love triangle, but Reynolds eventually left Saturn.
What, he's sticking up his ass?
This is a terrible list.
Yeah, that's a terrible fucking gimmick
Billy
you got there.
Kidman, David Flair, Tori Wilson.
All right, that's WCW.
And Dawn Marie, Jackie Gata, and Charlie Haas.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
What about Al Wilson? Is Al Wilson on there anywhere?
Oh shit. Yeah, but
No.
that wasn't really. That was more of a.
Yeah, it wasn't really a triangle.
Yeah.
5 love triangles that rocked the WWE.
The Edge Party.
Christian, Trish Stratus, Chris Jericho.
Okay, that was Mania.
That was WrestleMania 20.
Savage, Liz Hogan.
There you go.
Kane, Tori, X-Pac.
X-Pac.
That's right.
Not Tori Wilson. Tori.
Yeah.
Jack Tori.
Yuckface.
Jack Tori.
I mean, they're both jacked, but
Yuckface.
Tori was super jacked. What do you mean yuck face? She was hot, bro.
All right, well, her face was not.
You guys are stupid.
Stupid. When was the last time you looked up Tori's face?
Yeah.
Every night of my dreams, baby.
Oh, Jesus.
Ow.
No, not even I don't remember.
That's a lot of plastic surgery there. Sheila was cute looking when she was younger.
All right, who else was on the list?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Edge, Lita, Matt Hardy.
Whoa, yeah.
Stephanie McMahon, Kurt Angle.
Ah, that's the one I called.
It's 9:07 and Tony has to take his Peloria before he goes to bed.
That's right.
Okay, so Shawn Michaels is poor in this?
Yes. Shawn Michaels is broke. He spent too much money on crooked eye surgery.
This was, again, keeping in mind this was my first pay-per-view ever, and I had started watching like a couple weeks before. I did not understand JBL at all. I was like, what is this like out of shape cowboy doing?
Hey, did you buy this pay-per-view?
I watched it at a friend's house. So it was like the first I was like, hey, I watched Raw the other day, and I knew he had watched for a long time, and he was like, you should come over for a pay-per-view or whatever. And that was when it was like good to have someone guiding me through it, because I think Royal Rumble is every wrestling fan's favorite, but when you see it for the first time, you're kind of like, what is happening?
That was going to be my next question. Did you have any idea what the Royal Rumble was before you watched the show?
I did, because I was starting to get really into it. So I was like asking around, and I think I had kind of like, I'd watched kind of peripherally like a couple of old ones, but like, I mean, they obnoxiously explained the rules to you, but like having someone there to be like, you know, other feuds get set up and this is how, like having someone to kind of guide you through like the significance of that stuff was really like helpful to watch it with a fan who knew what was going on, because otherwise you're like, this is just a bunch of dudes in the ring getting thrown over the ropes. Like you don't understand how impressive and like what a great storytelling device and how much it can set things up going into WrestleMania. Like that's another thing you don't know as a fan, is like, oh, it's WrestleMania season now. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like it's funny looking over this card, realizing how much I didn't know about wrestling at all at that point.
What was the mindset? Like, what was the mindset? Like you said, this was your first pay-per-view and you just started watching like Raw weeks prior to this.
Yeah.
What was the mindset of like, oh shit, I'm going to check this out now? Because if you weren't really into it prior to, what was the switch of the decision there?
Honestly, it was like the first Raw I'd ever watched was with an ex-boyfriend who had watched it. And I was like, he's not sticking around, but this is really cool. And I the first thing that like grabbed me was Legacy. Like I thought that stable was so cool, and I still think it could have been so much more special than they let it be. But that was the first time I understood like the art form part of it, probably, of like being like, oh my god, these guys all have this common thread of this next generation wrestler thing, but they all have these very individual personalities. And as a new fan, seeing Randy Orton is like that, like X Factor, whatever you want to call it, stuff, like his charisma, like, and just doing fundamental heel things really well when you first begin watching is so like, I remember being like, he can't do that. Like, why did the referee, like very, very real reactions, like Randy Orton's so good at evoking those. So that was the first like thing that grabbed my attention from like a character development standpoint, that wasn't just like, hey, this is pretty cool, like let me watch and see who I start to like and who my favorites are.
She just likes the guys in spandex. Let's be honest.
No pants Orton, baby, let's go.
So Cena beats JBL.
Shocker.
Edge beats Jeff Hardy in the no disqualification match with a little help from Matt.
Yep.
Oh, Kevin, Chavo Guerrero is in Edge's corner.
That's right. The least important Guerrero of all time.
You know, I heard a story that he got into a fist fight at a bar at WrestleCon with Fatu's, with Rikishi's jeweler.
Heard that too, actually.
Brother.
Yeah, he definitely needs a smoke break.
Yeah.
Definitely needs a smoke
Chavo
break.
needs to sit a few plays out.
Yikes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Fucking Guerreros versus the Samoans. Chavo doesn't have a chance.
Especially when you're like the worst one.
Yeah, we're not talking Hector or Mando here. We're talking fucking.
Yeah. We're not talking the Godly Gooker here. We're talking fucking Chavo and fucking. You know what? To his credit, he is a former ECW champion, so I'll give him that.
He was not in the Royal Rumble. Who was the worst in the Royal Rumble in 2009?
That would be the Brian Kendrick.
Really? Over in 2009, Jim Duggan.
He was number 30. He was like the last guy, right?
Jib was 29.
29, yeah. No, Brian Kendrick lasted like 15 seconds, and he botched the elimination, so Triple H had to do it again.
For whom?
Because I'm a man with the plan. Do-do-do-do.
Brian Kendrick?
Yeah, that's right. I'm a big Brian Kendrick guy.
This is Mysterio was in there for 50 minutes, as was Trips.
Santino was only in there for a second.
Is this that one?
No,
seeing Rey Mysterio for the first time, like in a Royal Rumble, that was one of those things that definitely grabbed you.
So you know what's wild, Kate, is because he won in like 2005 or 2006. 2000.
Something like that.
I want to say it was 06.
It was 2006 because Batista won in 2005. So the fact that was your first time, like, I get it. Like, you only can control what you can control, and you became a fan when you became a fan. So, like, but the fact that Rey Mysterio won Royal Rumble 2006 and then became world champion, and then he, you know what? Coincidentally, he came in at number 1,
right?
And then came in number 1 in 2009. So there's a lot.
That was like seeing what he could do in the ring, seeing what he could do, like, talk about greatest luchador of all time stuff, like the way that he now realizing it, like, as a more mature in my wrestling fandom, like the way he makes things make sense for his size in a Royal Rumble match, like, just incredible stuff. And the look and the music, like, that was one of those, like, this guy rules. Like, he's so easy to get behind and so easy to root for.
And I'll even piggyback on that because I'm such a Royal Rumble, like, addict. Like, I'll watch a Royal Rumble every single day for the rest of my life. It was him that really kind of started the whole funky way to keep yourself in the match before, like, John Morrison, before Kofi Kingston, before Trinity or Naomi in WWE. Like, he did I could be wrong, but I think he was the first person that would literally, he walked on 2 people's backs to get back into the match. So that was like, that created a whole shitstorm of John Morrison. Hey, I'm going to get bumped out, but I'm going to grab onto the wall, spider walk, and come back. Like,
the abuse of the it takes 2 feet to touch the ground thing. Yeah.
No, I hate it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I absolutely hate it. And I hate that, like, it's become a gimmick now where every time Kofi Kingston comes in the Royal Rumble, you know he's not winning, but you know he's gonna do something that, like, at this point is super fucking cheesy.
But to your point, like, Ray was one of those guys that was doing it to stay in the match. Like, he and like when Shawn Michaels was getting thrown over the ropes, like, he was trying to reach back over the ropes to stay in the match at all times. Like, Ray wasn't doing it for a spot fest. Ray was doing it to stay in the match. Yeah. Like, I just remember being, like, finding him so remarkable.
Yeah, no, I agree, 100%.
Can we not gloss over the fact that Vladimir Kozlov has 3 eliminations in this thing?
So this is just gonna. I'm sorry, Matt.
I was just gonna ask about Vladimir Kozlov. This looks like they were. Come on, Kali, MVP, and Carlito all gone at the hands of Kozlov in the first 8 minutes.
So this is like, Kozlov at this point was kind of beyond his main push, because as we go to Mania, like, him and Triple H, I think, have a match maybe at No Way Out, but, like, he had already had his, like, triple threat match with him and Jeff Hardy, or maybe it's even after Mania they get to him. But
he's sorry, Kev. He's in the Elimination Chamber at No Way Out that Triple H ends up winning.
Of course he is, bro. It's fucking Vladimir Kozlov. I like the gimmick. I like the guy. It's a shame it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, and then, but once, like, just like with Kali, like, once the bloom is off the rose for him, like, he just fell to, like.
Yeah, but listen, Kozlov doing, like, the tea break with Santino, that was some funny shit. Dude.
No, it was good.
That's exactly where my head was going, was Kozlov and Santino. Like, they're just comedy gold.
Yeah, but then, like, him, even before that, like, they in ECW, they had him, Regal had him and Ezekiel Jackson as his heavies. So, like, he just completely fell off after a really strong push when he first got there. So it was just a very weird time in Kozlov's career. But at the Rumble, they still gave him spots, and they still put him over pretty big. I mean, listen, everyone knows Kali is getting eliminated by somebody. Let's be honest. Kali ain't winning no Rumbles. So whether it's Beth Phoenix or whether it's, Undertaker or whether it's Vladimir Kozlov, Kali is getting eliminated in some sort of fun spot that people are going to remember, just because, despite how awful he is, it'll be like the gasp moment.
Yeah, I remember being like, this guy can't walk, talk, or wrestle.
Yeah. And this is still babyface Kali, but he's still wearing, like, the black like gear. So this is like just babyface Kali.
We got some
you
great
guys
names in
know-
here too.
Did
Mike
you know
Knox.
Vladimir Kozlov recently made an on-screen cameo at Impact Wrestling?
Yes. Yeah. Because Santino was there.
Oh.
Santino's a director of authority.
Well, I don't know.
Man.
I don't know if you know, Justin Roberts announced the Royal Rumble for this show too.
Yeah.
He
How did he
there.
say John Morrison's name?
Fucking hand job.
Fucking Mike.
Carlito was here. We just saw Carlito this past weekend.
That was awesome, by the way.
By the way,
If we want to talk about that match was a spectacle and so awesome.
Yeah, I really don't. Fuck that.
did you watch it?
Yeah, of
No,
course I
it
watched
was-
it.
It
Fucking
was
fantastic.
really good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Ted DiBiase, before he went to prison, was in this match.
Oh,
He's not there yet, and he's not even going to stay in trial next month.
Cody Rhodes is back in the E.
He's in jail.
Bro, Ted DiBiase Jr. was in there for fucking 45 minutes.
Well,
Of course he was,
they were
bro.
the last four guys.
Came down to Legacy against the Game.
No, it came to the Randy Orton, no?
Orton,
Well,
yeah.
that's
but
that's
Triple
the legacy.
H. Yeah,
Oh, that's
Triple-
right. I forgot he was there.
He was the Game.
Legacy was like it. I was so in on the Legacy. Like I immediately gravitated toward heels, and I felt like to this day, my favorite Cody might be Dash and Cody Rhodes. Like I
Nope,
loved that
Stardust.
gimmick.
Stardust
I
was amazing.
loved Dashing. Like it felt so up his alley because, like, I don't know. I just feel like
the fact that he hates Stardust annoys me because he was so fucking good at Stardust.
He was-
Mattel's releasing a figure of Stardust.
Of course they are. It's fucking money.
Yo, first of all, Cody Rhodes made anything, the shit that they gave him, he made the best that he fucking could. But nothing they gave him was good other than Legacy. That
I
tag
felt
team.
like he.
Nah,
knocked
Dash and Cody was good.
Dashing
No,
out
with the
of
fucking
park.
with the fucking stupid plastic mask on his face and the fucking
No,
putting
but,
paper
like-
bags on people's heads.
Remember, like the mirror and him, like he knocked
Yes.
that like.
Yep.
That like 80s sweet spot part of it, I felt like he knocked that shit out of the park. But I
I'm
will
not-
say, like, Legacy should have been such a bigger thing because the amount of stories you could have told, and like Randy Orton leading a serious stable with Cody Rhodes, who was young but good, and Ted DiBiase Jr., who was like serviceable enough. Like
No,
those guys should have
DiBiase
been
DiBiase was the one that thought that was going to be the bigger star.
the like break out of that, right?
Yeah.
But like I've just the promos that they could have cut of like those guys being next generation wrestlers running roughshod all over the whole WWE, like I felt like there's such a missed opportunity there, and I was so drawn in.
They kind of butchered Legacy by putting, and this is no disrespect to them, Snuka's kid and Alpha Jr. in there, and they just didn't look like $1 million like Cody and
Wait, Sim Snuka was in there?
yeah, for a very brief period, and then they beat the shit out of him. They jumped him out, basically.
It was quick
Perfect
too.
opponents. Like
Yeah.
should have just been an opponent angle because the same
And-
stories right there.
And they're like, it's like they just didn't fit. Like, and this is weird to say because if there's an easy way that the WWE probably could have made it work, but like Sim Snuka was wearing like weird he had like a black like muscle shirt on and black his gear was terrible. Alpha
Don't worry.
Junior
The other guys were like in the same world a little bit.
yeah,
where-
they were in the
yeah.
same world. They were cut from chisel. Like they were like, and Sim Snuka was jacked too. Don't get me wrong, but
No.
like they just didn't fit the mold of what the group could have been. Now, if they elaborated on it and if they could have said like define roles for these other two, then yeah, it probably could have worked. But they never did, and that's why the other two didn't last, and that's why you don't really hear much about them other than the independent scene. Not that
I
there's anything
remember
wrong with that.
thinking, I'm looking at the list of people that were in here. I remember thinking Shelton Benjamin was cool as hell, and I still
Oh.
think that. Oh, Shelton was so cool. And I remember, I mean, I always liked Punk, but JTG was in this. My goodness,
Double-sided coin, baby.
that's what's up.
If you
And I really liked MVP too.
Take a look at the roster, though. Look at how many guys are still in WWE. Like Dolph Ziggler's still there. R-Truth is still there. Kofi's still there. Shelton's there. Cody
Ray's still
Rhodes is
there.
back. The Miz. I mean, it's pretty nuts. Like, this is 2009. This is what, 14 years ago now? Mysterio, Morrison. Yeah. Fucking Carlito probably just came back. Who knows if it's just a cup of coffee, but still.
Yeah, Morrison's gone, though, but he was back recently.
And Randy.
They are silly if they don't make more of that Carlito thing. What happened on Saturday was just like, that was such a special moment. They'd be dumb not to capitalize.
They were supposed to do it when he came back for the Rumble that one time, and it never came to fruition.
I'll tell you this. I have the very inappropriate t-shirt that is associated with him. I have the Do Spitter Swallow
oh, no!
Carlito shirt.
I'm going to come on you like nobody's ever come on me before.
Tony, you know what I do have, though? I have that Carlito hat that you gave me like years ago. It's still in the plastic. I'm sorry I never wore it, but I think
jerk off!
It might be a valuable collector's item nowadays.
A valuable collector's item?
Oh, if he comes back, I spit in the face of people who do not want to.
Yo, you could have got a ton of trim down in Puerto Rico if you were wearing that thing at the fucking show on Saturday.
I'm moving to Puerto Rico. Puerto Ricans are my new favorite people.
The stick.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, this array, that array, Puerto Rico way.
They got some big heinies down in Puerto Rico too.
You got a big heiny.
Fuck yeah, I do.
Thongs for fucking everyone. The brand there's no brand distribution here. This is all horse shit. There's 4 people representing ECW.
And
what the fuck? Fucking 30 spots. 10.
What, you want freaking Braden Walker and fucking Ricky Ortiz in the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, it's better than fucking Santino Marella for 1 second, Dolph Ziggler for 21, and Brian Kendrick for 15.
Listen,
back to back.
Santino Marella wasn't ready.
One thing that did jump out at me was like, I couldn't remember in this era kind of what qualified as a nostalgia pop versus what was people just like later in their careers. Like I didn't know if RVD was full roster at that point or anything, but it did seem like there were way less like nostalgia pop spots.
Well, RVD was it. Like that was it. Like
that was the only one, right?
Yeah.
And Jim Duggan was there.
Oh, yeah, but Jim Duggan was signed to Raw.
No, I think he signed after
2009.
this. I think he signed after this.
Nah, Wikipedia's never wrong, dude.
No, at New Year's Revolution, Duggan. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta find 2009.
He probably came out with like DiBiase and Slaughter and all them and got involved somehow, and then they gave him a match.
No, I'm telling you, I think he signed. Oh no, because he was on the roster. Because all right, so Brian Kendrick. This is how I remember this. Because there was a match where like Randy Orton and John Cena faced the entire Raw roster, and Brian Kendrick was not the Brian Kendrick yet, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan was on that team.
He was a Brian Kendrick, not the Brian Kendrick.
So, I think he was signed, left, and got cut and came back for this.
He's on a Legends deal, bro.
It remind me of the timeline though, because didn't he worked like a triple threat match with, was it Piper and Steamboat at like Taboo Tuesday or something like that?
No, wasn't it it was the three of them against
you're thinking of
Jericho?
The Jericho with with Steamboat, Piper, and Snuka.
That's what it was
at WrestleMania.
Gotcha.
So Jim Duggan is involved in the WWE from 2006 to 2009. He doesn't resurface back up in the WWE into 2012.
Oh,
2006, he's working house shows against Viscera.
Holy shit.
He's beating Snitsky on Sunday Night Heat. He's beating Eugene on house shows.
So he's long gone as a regular performer by 2009, and he just comes back because I believe it's like the 25th anniversary of the Rumble or some shit like that.
Dude, he's all over WWE in 2007. He's losing to Trevor Murdoch. He's losing tag matches. He's a tag team partner with Super Crazy.
I want to say like he teamed with like Davey Boy Smith Jr. too, when Davey Boy was still like new to the roster.
He was beating Charlie Haas at house shows in 2008. Like he's all over the why? It's
Is there a
How I
gap
feel about
between
Jeff Jarrett now.
Is there a gap between 2008 and the Rumble?
No, the Rumble's the last time he's there.
So maybe he was hurt and just not on TV because like unless I'm confusing it with a later Rumble where he does come back and
his last house show is September of 2008 and then he shows up for the Rumble in 2009.
Okay, so that's a pretty big gap.
September of 08 and January. That's a couple months.
3 months.
No, but I'm saying like if you're not on TV,
No.
like, and then he comes back as a surprise for the Rumble.
Right, but if he's working like house shows though, you know what I mean? Like just as a, I'm guessing just like as a nostalgia act.
But from September to January, he's not doing anything. That's it.
Ah, gotcha.
So that's a decent, like that's enough time to make you forget about somebody. So when they come back, it's
Perhaps you're thinking of 2012, Kevin, when he returns at the Royal Rumble. Then he is teaming with Santino Morello against Epico and Primo on SmackDown.
I was not thinking of that.
And then Tuesday Night SmackDown, it's Duggan, Santino Morella, and Sergeant Slaughter against Camacho, Drew McIntyre, and Unico.
Oh, I remember that like.
Can't believe Drew McIntyre's first run didn't go better.
I remember that like it was yesterday. Camacho, come on, Joe.
Yikes.
He's back in 2013 too. Jesus Christ!
That's the Rumble. That might be the Rumble I'm thinking about. Does he show up in that Rumble?
No, he shows up to wrestle fucking Jack Swagger on a random Monday Night Raw in March.
Oh, okay. ECW Legend Jack Swagger. Put some respect on his name.
That's right.
14.
Thank you, Kate.
Well, Randy Orton ends up winning this Royal Rumble. And then he's off to WrestleMania 25.
That's right. Ain't no stopping him now.
Who does he wrestle at 25? Triple H?
It's a little triple threat ski, or is it one-on-one ski?
Triple H defeats Randy Orton by pinfall. Had Triple H been counted out or disqualified, he would have lost the title.
But how did Triple H get the belt if he was in the Rumble?
He won the Elimination Chamber in No Way Out.
So who was the champ?
Edge was.
Oh, fucking stupid.
No Way Out was.
Stupid. Who booked this shit?
No Way Out was.
Action Figure Shelton booked this shit.
Okay.
It looks like fucking Virgil.
Follow this along. No Way Out.
He looks like Virgil, dude. Soul Train Jones.
2012, No Way Out open. 2009, excuse me.
Yeah,
No
I was
Way
gonna
Out
say, what the
opened.
fuck, dude?
With Edge defending his WWE Championship in the Elimination Chamber, losing it to Triple H. This involved Undertaker, Jeff Hardy, Big Show, Vlad Kozlov. In the main event for John Cena's World Heavyweight Championship match, Edge wins.
Is that the cash-in? No.
No, he's part of the... he's part of it because he attacks Kofi Kingston and replaces him in the match.
SOS. SOS.
You hear me shouting?
Him not even from Jamaica. Him from Ghana. An old mom keeping kayfabe alive.
Oh, the best was when Randy Orton cut him off. He's like, "Didn't you have an accent?" Remember when they had it during their feud? He just completely just breaks like, "Hey, didn't you have an accent?"
Stupid.
You hear me shouting?
Shelton.
That is down the aisle for Royal Rumble 2009.
There you go.
Yay!
Well, Kate, that was a lot of fun.
That was fun. Thank you, fellers.
Thanks.
That's
for
a real
joining us.
weird time in wrestling to go back and visit.
Look, CM Punk was world champion, and then he was the Intercontinental champion.
Oh,
Yeah, it was real weird.
Wow.
I loved Straight Edge Society Punk though. I was so into that dude from like.
you like
the
shave head
start.
Serena Deeb?
Well, just like Straight Edge Jesus, I was like, this is a good. That guy was getting heat. Like,
Well, this was before that because that Rumble was great, where he tried to convince everyone to join the Straight Edge Society.
Oh,
and
it's
then,
fantastic.
Yeah, that Rumble. Every
Good
time
stuff.
someone came in, he's like, "You," and again, Ryder. He was like, "You have potential. I see potential," and then he knocks him out with the microphone and throws him out.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah,
Those were fun. Thank you, fellers. Well, it's fun to be back on here.
Thanks for joining us, Kate.
Kate, it was great to have you back on. What does your thing say?
Fight Club.
Oh, come on. I can't even change it.
What does it say?
I'm not
don't
even
even know.
logged in.
I don't know how to do it either.
Feet pics. Wow.
Kate, what are you trying to tell us?
This is like the 8th least terrible thing that's happened to me on the show. I'm yelled at to come on here with a thong first.
Yeah, Kate, you've been. Yeah,
This
We're
is
just
like
trying
very, very low on the totem pole
Listen,
today.
the hype was built up. We had to keep it going.
That's fair. That's fair. I probably should just make my money and get out of here.
Oh no.
Well, Kate, it's been an absolute pleasure. If you enjoyed Kate, I mean, she's everywhere on the wrestling scene at Miss Kate Fabe on the Twitter machine. Sour Graps on Tuesday nights, right after NXT. Mark Order Podcast Wednesday nights, right after Dynamite. Are you still doing the post show after SmackDown and Rampage?
I am, and I do the ROH one on Thursdays.
My God, when do you sleep, woman?
I don't.
Oh my goodness.
Kevin, your microphone is muted, so
I'm so glad.
What? How'd you mute my mic?
No one
I
muted
didn't.
your
No
mic.
one you muted your mic.
You muted your mic.
Good call. So me and Kate had a great time the other night down in Rahway after WrestlePro. So that was
Hell
a good
yeah,
time.
we did.
Yeah, it was good times, right?
Tony.
No, that time it was me. Well, you did it again. No, you did it this time.
All right, so my button must be sticking.
Must have been all this, Kevin.
Yeah, just to write
Old
that array.
Sticky buttons.
No, that's not it. I don't do that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's it. Tony's calling it a night. We didn't even get to talk about Backlash. Tony's done.
Fuck, you want to stay on? You could
We didn't
stay
talk
on and
about,
talk
I didn't,
about it.
Matt, I
I'm leaving.
didn't even get to ask you who that guy was at the end of Dontaku.
Oh, you can ask away. Tony's got to go.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Fuck all
All right.
y'all.
Good night, Tony.
Goodbye.
Everyone say
Bye,
goodnight,
Kate.
Tony.
Wait, should I hit
Bye,
end broadcast?
No, don't end the
No,
broadcast.
don't hit end broadcast.
please.
I still have questions for Matthew.
Kevin's got questions. We still have a little wrestling talk we can do.
All right, good.
You're
Then
more
I'll
than
shut the
welcome to
music
hang
off.
out if you want.
I'll hang out. Why not?
Yeah, Kate, you could be Tony too. Electric Boogaloo.
There you go.
Tony, I'm done with you.
Goodbye.
Good night,
Good night,
T-Dog.
Gracie.
Bye, Tony.
So, Matt,
So-
I watched New Japan.
Okay.
A lot of questions.
I got a lot of answers for you, big guy.
Who, first and foremost, who was the dude that beat the crap out of Sonata after Sonata won the belt?
After
We didn't even talk about picks, by the way.
So which one do you want to talk about first?
Want to do picks first?
So there's been a shift in the picks, Kevin. Me and you are tied atop.
Yeah,
Hey.
the Cody Rhodes pick at Backlash killed me.
Handsome Kevin went perfect at Backlash. Everyone else went 6-1.
Matt, I had Cody winning first, and then I switched it. I have the photo evidence to prove it.
Well, you know what? That you shouldn't have sent it then. You should have gone with Cody.
Yeah, should have.
Should have gone with Cody. But yeah, me and Kevin are tied atop 92, 38, and 1. That one is obviously the 15-minute time.
Wait,
limit
me,
trial with
Kevin,
Jeff.
or him, Kevin?
Oh, you, sir. KJG,
yeah.
excuse me.
All right.
Tony is a game back. Brendan is 5 back, and Handsome Kevin slowly making that crawl. That's 7-0 at Backlash. Very, very popular. It'll all be cleaned up a little next week because there won't be as many asterisks and picks, and it just looks like fucking phone numbers.
It kind of does.
Now that I see it, it annoys me that I did it that way. I apologize. Backlash was awesome, I thought. I'd never watched the WWE product, really, but I thought the pay-per-view was done well. I would like Bianca Belair to stop dropping people on their heads, and I would like Bayley to wear more outfits like that.
That was whoa. That was
What,
like
man? Creative.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you, but whoa. That match was. I'm not a giant Bianca fan, but that match was incredible, and Io was lights out. Those two worked so well together. But that one spot where she just dropped her on her face, I was very concerned for Io in that moment.
I don't know how that went wrong, and I can't really know who to put the blame on for that one.
It would have to be Bianca in that situation. She's got her up by one hand. She
tough,
didn't get back
though.
up to two to spin her.
Well, but the whole point, she's done the one-handed press before and nailed it flawlessly. So I don't know if Io got over enough. And again, like, this is just me talking from somebody who's seen people practice wrestling and seen people like do this in the ring. And so I'm not 100% blaming Bianca, but I'll tell you what made me nervous was when I'm jumping ahead, when Bad Bunny went to go do that sliced bread number 2, and I thought he was gonna fucking concuss the fuck out of himself. Holy crap!
I can't imagine being Bad Bunny's like music manager or publicist and watching him in that match. Like,
in the middle of a worldwide freaking tour, like.
Yeah, they're probably like, oh, I saw Snooki do a backhand spring at WrestleMania. Go have fun. Meanwhile, he's out here fucking dropping Michinoku drivers and shit.
Oh my god,
unreal, that dude.
Yo, Bad Bunny was flawless. Other than that, like, I think he was absolutely perfect in this match.
Before we get on the Bad Bunny thing, I do want to ask this because I don't watch a lot of WWE product. Does the WWE make a big deal out of the fact that Bianca's been the champion since fucking last year's WrestleMania?
They do.
I think that's a remarkable statistic.
They do. They mentioned it on the show. They said that she's been the Raw Women's
No,
champion.
I know they mentioned it, but I'm saying, do they make a big deal out of it? Like,
well, they don't. It's not like it's Roman Reigns 1,000 days type deal, but they do mention it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they do a good job with it because they're on this whole kick of wanting to update the record books.
Yeah,
and her being a black women's champion too. They I think do a good job of promoting it without shoving it down your throats.
There are so many like important things about Bianca's reign right now that is just so incredible because like she was in NXT, she was great. She came to Raw, she was great. Like she came to the main roster, great. She had work to do. She wasn't perfect when she got here. She wasn't perfect in NXT, but now she's so, like I mentioned the word flawless before. I'm not going to say that she's flawless. I'm not going to say she's flawless in the same sense that I think like Charlotte's flawless or I think that Becky's flawless, but she's probably right there. But everything that she's done with her reign has been executed perfectly. And
all right, I got another question.
Okay.
She is the Raw Women's Champion of 400 plus days. She's eclipsed Becky Lynch by 27 days. But she got drafted to fucking SmackDown, right? So now does that change? Does she have to switch titles? Is this gonna?
So I guess we'll find out on maybe on Raw because the draft officially. See, this is another thing that pisses me off. Is the draft apparently is executed tonight, right? So like that's why you had SmackDown people on Raw or Raw people on SmackDown on Friday. So, but now you have these 2 tournaments and like
so
the
dumb.
2 triple threat matches. And you have SmackDown wrestlers competing for a belt that's only supposed to be competed on for Raw. Which
it's so dumb. So there was like a rumor, and I don't know if they're gonna do it, but that they were going to get away from that they were going to make one the women's universal title and one the women's world title so they could stop with this. We have to switch the titles every time we do a draft.
And like hand them off to each other. Like,
I wouldn't be against it. I just don't want to fuck up her.
So
the lineage of her reign. Yeah.
Yes,
I think that would be an important way to.
All right. So Kate, let me ask you this real quick. So I think people nowadays can understand that just because you're holding the championship of a different, it's technically a different belt, but at the end of the day, if they're held in equal regard, I don't think it's that big a deal that you just say, hey, okay, I'm over here now, we're equals. I get it, you have to win a belt, but like I don't hate it as much as other people do that you just hand over the belt to the other person. Now the lineage is one thing, but like I think people know if you're a champion, you're a champion. So like to me, it's not it's
cool. Let's give her the IC title too. Then you know what I mean? Like my bigger thing.
That's the woman. The woman. It's a world championship. I'm not trading down from the world championship to the IC title.
No, but
we're exchanging belts that are mutually like relatable.
My bigger thing with it is then come Survivor Series in a few months, they then shove brand supremacy down your throat for
I don't think they will.
weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on end after, and then come to the draft, they're like, just switch. Also, it just bugs me like men's title, yeah. Women's title is brand specific, women's title is brand specific. It's just weird. Like equalize it, and I think the belts, quite frankly, don't look good anyway. So like,
I totally
something
understand
new,
how it could
rearrange
bother people.
them. Keep the reign alive. It's just the cleaner move.
But I mean, the decision was made to switch them. So like you know what I mean. So like now, like other than like what else can you do other than just trade like Kevin?
Name one the world. Name the other the Universal women's. Like that's the super easy way to do it. It's just keep the lineages alive. Call one of them the world, one of them the Universal, and
but people already shit on the world title as being secondary anyway. So
the heavyweight,
the world, that's the
okay.
World
I mean, it's newly established though, or they don't even have to be called that. But stop making them brand specific and call them two things of the same equivalence, right? Like,
all right, that's a different argument for sure. But like
that's the thing that is the right thing to do is make them equivalent but not brand specific. In my opinion.
All right, no, that's perfectly fair. I agree with that.
HK.
I hate the fucking brand split. I always have. It's one of my least favorite things that they do. I do think though, like going back to when they had the world heavyweight champion, the WWE champion. That same concept. I think that's kind of Kate. That's what you're saying, Kate, and I absolutely agree. The whole passing off and stuff like that. That seems silly. I hate that they call it Universal Champ. That shit was silly to me. But yeah, I think when they had the world champion and the WWE champion, and they worked their separate shows. That was fine for me.
Do you guys remember how the world championship became to be a thing in WWE?
Yes, Ric Flair just gave it to fucking Triple H. He opened Eric Bischoff.
But it was that's how it started. But then Ric Flair came out, and it was decided by one match between Triple H and Ric Flair. That's how a world championship was decided. Eric Bischoff wanted to give it to Triple H. Ric Flair came out and said no, and then Ric Flair decided that they were going to fight each other for the championship, for the world championship. Like in one fell swoop, one match like that determined the top belt for one brand. It was.
It's
silly.
It's better than putting names in a hat.
Well, is that what they're doing?
No, I'm just yeah, pretty much.
I mean, this whole tournament thing with let's create a third championship when we had the opportunity to split titles.
The other two.
Yeah, and to have people from SmackDown who just got drafted there, which by the way, like TV networks have a stake in, so you already know who's on the SmackDown side. Probably ain't winning. Because I don't think Fox would be like, hey, I know you just drafted this person, but we're fine letting them go to USA. Like they don't want that shit. So my guess is it's gonna be Seth Rollins.
Kevin, I think you're wrong on your title thing too.
No, I'm totally right about the Ric Flair Triple H thing. When the world heavyweight
fuck me running then for looking it up. You're right. I'm sorry.
No, totally right. That's totally right.
Let me just throw my fucking computer in the garbage. Apparently it's wrong.
Please do. At least your internet's better.
Thanks.
So
still wrong though.
Eric Bischoff took it out of a fucking suitcase and handed it to Triple H. Ric Flair came out, and then they had a match that night, right?
No.
Oh no.
At No Mercy, him and Kane, the IC champion, had a match to unify both titles.
No, but so the title was already in existence then.
Yes, it was when he gave it to Triple H. That's it.
No, that's not it.
He was the champion. He was the number one contender, and then they made him the champion.
You might be confusing two different things, Matt.
Okay, you're right, Kevin.
No.
You're right. I don't know how to read.
All I'm saying is that on Monday Night Raw, Eric Bischoff tried to give tried to give Triple H the big gold belt. He took it out of the thing, right? And then Ric Flair said he doesn't just get that; he has to earn it, or something to that nature. And then Triple H and Ric Flair had a match, and Triple H beat Ric Flair and was awarded the World Heavyweight Championship.
No, he was already the World Heavyweight Champion. Ric Flair.
I'm talking about how the belt first came to existence.
Yes, Eric Bischoff took it out of his case and said, "You're the champion." So they recognized him as the world champion.
No, he had to fight Ric Flair. He had to fight Ric Flair.
He didn't have to. Ric Flair came out and challenged him, but he was already the champion. He's recognized as the champion.
Okay, all right. That's bullshit semantics.
It's not semantics.
Is it not semantics?
If the match is champion Triple H versus Ric Flair, no, he's the fucking champion.
All right, I'll give it to you, but it's bullshit.
It's not me. It's right here on the screen in front of me.
No, I get what you're saying, and you're right, but the point was that he had so he had to defend the championship against Ric Flair. But how you started with the merging of the IC title was fucking bullshit and unnecessary.
That's where it ended up. It's a beginning and an end. Well, no, it ended all the way down here.
That's right.
So anyway, I think the women should just have 2 equivalent titles.
What else did we like about Backlash?
Oh, Bad Bunny! My God, Danhausen.
Take it easy, Casey.
Jeez Louises.
I think you meant to say Savio Vega there, but that's fine.
You know what? Actually, that whole match was so perfectly architected. I don't know why they can't just do great things whenever they go to people's hometowns or countries and let them win and let things be fun.
Because they're not an indie company.
Okay, but at Fight Club, and Sean says, and I agree with it, the idea that hometown heat is great if it follows you to the next town. Otherwise, someone is just losing. And that's so rare. I feel like that it follows you to the next town. They always do that.
They did the right things here.
They did all the right things here. They had all the nostalgia pops that were perfect. Bad Bunny, man, just from his entrance, coming out with the Raven shopping cart, the move execution was great, but the best celebrity storytelling involvement that I think I've ever seen. The way he couldn't lay in the chair shot on Damian Priest the first time around, but then the second time around didn't fall for it. Things that I wish wrestlers would do in matches, he was getting. All of the shenanigans are folding outside of the ring. And when he turns around, he expects Damian Priest is going to be there to hit him with something.
It's a great call.
He was prepared for it. I could not believe how much it felt like that guy had not just the Bunny Destroyer looks great shit. I mean, wrestler instincts with the way his facial expressions were and the way he was telling the story. The sliced bread spot was scary, but man, using Damian Priest's moves against him, that dude understands pro wrestling on it felt like on a pro wrestler level, not just a celebrity who that's my only thing with Logan Paul is I'm his athleticism is great. He can't tell his story a lick in the ring yet, and he's had 4 matches. Of course he can't. But Bad Bunny can. And it was really, really fun. The crowd was just insane. It was what a blast to watch. So much fun.
Logan Paul also hasn't had not a crutch per se, but this was a no DQ match. So Bad Bunny had room, and Damian Priest had room to make other things work. That Logan Paul's matches have all been straight wrestling matches. So I think Logan Paul.
Saudi Arabia was the match against Roman. I want to say was no DQ or no.
I don't think so. I mean,
might as well. It was.
I might be wrong.
It was loosely enforced then because they.
Kate, if you're right, I'm going to say no. You're wrong. You're wrong, Kate. You're wrong.
I'm not going to look it up.
Yeah,
because I know we're trying to get out of here soon. But that was my. I loved what Pat Mack did and with Adam Cole in NXT too. But to me, that was the greatest celebrity involvement of all time. Partly because of his performance in it, and partly because of the circumstances that were just so incredibly well done.
I'm with you.
I thought the Zelina Vega stuff was awesome.
Yeah,
That was really
great
sweet.
moment for her. What?
I was gonna say, I enjoyed the match. I think Rhea Ripley's fantastic. I think Zelina Vega is very underrated. But the tossing of the flip flop.
Yes.
What they were alluding to it being something important, but they never quite explained it. What's the story behind that?
Usually, what a mother uses to hit or threaten the life of their child is a flip flop.
Is a flip flop.
The flip flop comes
Like
out. You know you're
Hispanic
fucked.
culture, it's the chancla is
The chancla,
the name for the flip flop, but that's like what if mom was coming at you with the chancla, like that's what our generation of like parents and grandparents, the belt was probably to them was like the chancla.
Wow. And people weren't up in arms saying that they were glorifying domestic violence.
Yo, Cole said, like, if you're the children out there know what we're talking about, like Cole, like literally, like emphasized that it was about beating your kids.
Yeah. I thought the 6-man tag was a lot of fun. I like the dissension still in the bloodline. The story's not old. I don't understand how Matt Riddle wrestles with no shoes on. It's amazing.
I don't like him in the freaking diapers either, by the way. Like,
You know,
go back
seems
to the
massive
bikers.
man hog.
Yeah, no, it was weird. It was so weird that that previous match wasn't the main event. Like I felt like the 6-man was pretty fun, but nobody really gave a shit. Like it felt like such a downslide.
They love the entrances, and also going back to Royal Rumble in 2009. Seeing Matt Riddle in trunks reminds me of just like seeing Jericho in trunks for the first time, and it just weirds me out. Like some people just aren't meant to wear trunks. But anyway.
And then Cody shined. He had that match with Brock was great. Great shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And
start to finish, it was an outstanding show. It was an outstanding show. And I don't know, seeing Savio was so perfect for me. I was super pumped to see Savio. So,
Savio was fun, but you saw him backstage. The Carlito thing was really cool because
Carlito was great. Yeah,
so cool.
He wasn't backstage, so that was cool.
Yeah, I think they really knocked it out of the park. I think start to finish on this show.
Yeah. It was also an easy watch. Didn't lag at any point. Like it moved real fast. The triple threat I think left a lot to be desired just because I feel like you knew the outcome and it was just Bronson Reed looked good. Wasn't a ton to write home, but it was short. Like it nothing dragged in the show. It was a really
and you knew Austin Theory was going to be the grimy guy that just took advantage and picked the bones of whoever got hurt.
And so Seth kind of got a match out of Omos as well.
Omos is good, man.
Seth Rollins is good.
Seth Rollins is good, but
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Omos. All right, so maybe Omos is not good. He's getting better. How about that?
He is getting better. Yeah. But like I say, Seth kind of got a match out of him, which is very impressive.
What is a premium Peacock Plus?
Just the $10 here, I think, and they give you more video packages and stuff on the WWE.
Yeah, so if you don't
side.
have actual Comcast, or like I have Comcast, right? So I just pay the $5, and I get commercials where they would normally play video packages. If you actually pay the $10 a month, you get the video packages instead of the commercials.
Now, see, I pay the $10 a month, and there were some where they didn't even show a video. They went, if you ever,
it's not all the time. It's
right.
When they say
if you're a Peacock Premium Plus, enjoy this video leading up to this match, and then the screen would go black, and then the match would start. And I was like, oh, I don't really give a shit, but I was like, this is weird that they say that.
Were you watching it live?
No, I was watching
it. If you're watching it live, you would have gotten the video packages.
Oh, I didn't care either way. I just thought it was weird.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap up. Backlash was great. Kevin, what did you want to ask me about New Japan?
Who was the guy that came out and beat the shit out of Sonata after the main event?
Yoda Tsuji.
Is he a New Japan? I've never heard of him before. Is he a New Japan guy? Or is he... Okay.
He was a young lion. He's been on excursion the last 2.5 years. So he was in Europe and Mexico, I want to say.
Was that a big deal though? Like people is he a big deal?
Oh yeah.
He's a big boy. I just never heard of him. I thought maybe like it was like a Noah guy or something like that.
No. So he's you know how they do it in there. All the young lions have to spend their time. They have to go through the dojo, and then they get shipped off for excursion. So it seems like we are in a great place with New Japan in terms of them bringing, trying to give focus to the homegrown stars, right? Tanahashi's getting older, Naito's getting older. Okada is doing something completely different, which is awesome. Angry Okada is my fucking favorite thing ever. When he told Shota Umino, he said, fuck you, fucking...
That 6-man when they won the belts, like that's like a dream team. Those three dudes. That's wild.
Yeah, and they're bringing Moxley over there for Dominion, so that's going to be huge. And somebody else from the BCC.
Probably.
Blackpool Combat Club.
Is it gonna be Wheeler Yuta?
No, I better not. It's got to be Danielson. It has to be Danielson.
It's definitely gonna be Wheeler.
Only thing that
It's definitely gonna be Wheeler Yuta and fucking
burn the house to the ground. Tsuji is back though. He is in LIJ. It seems like. So him, Shota Umino, and Ren Narita seem to be like the new nucleus for New Japan. They're the young guys. They're not tearing it up and winning titles, but you can see in a couple of years they'll be in the same position as the Okada, Tanahashi, Naitos.
So I know we have to go. I know, but now that we're just like going down this rabbit hole.
You're good.
I think I might have a new favorite wrestler, Matt.
All right, give it to me.
I think his name might be David Finlay.
Oh my god.
The entire time at New Japan when we went,
little pouch belly himself. Talk about donut hole. I like little pouch belly David Finlay.
You're the worst Bullet Club leader in history. Just shouting.
He is.
It was so much.
I like him.
Well, fucking too sweet your asshole. That's all I have to say about that.
I just like him. I don't know. He looked for some reason. Listen, I don't watch New Japan, so like when I watch it, I can only see what I see when I watch it. So like when I watched it, I was
he's
I like
on your
this
other
guy.
boy, Gabriel Kidd. He's got his eye on, right?
Gabriel Kidd.
Yeah, he brought Clark Connors into the Bullet Club. Now he's got his eyes on Gabe Kidd.
Good shit.
Look, he as much as I don't like David Finlay, he did what he said he was going to do. He brought a violent side to the Bullet Club, and Tama Tonga had to be stretchered out of the arena. But ELP was having none of that. His big return after he got jumped out of the Bullet Club. So looks like they're going to face off Dominion for the never open weight title.
Man,
Matt, how many time limit draws have there been for the TV title?
That was the first one.
That was the first one, right?
Yep.
That's probably why it seemed like a really really big deal.
Yep. It was good too. The match was good, man.
Yep.
The match was good.
Great.
Yep.
I'm excited for that at Dominion as well.
So we all took a bath on that one, right?
No.
Someone called a draw?
Oh no, we all got the tie. It all just went to a tie. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
Although I did call it a draw on Bread Club.
Look at you.
But yeah, we all took that as a tie.
Nice.
All right, so Matt, if you don't mind, can I change lanes for a second?
Sure.
Because I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Trinity Fatu's debut on Impact Wrestling and immediate insertion into the main event of the Knockouts division for the World Championship. I don't know if you got to see that, Matt. I watched it. Kate, did you have a chance to check that out or no?
I did, and I'm so happy for her. It's like the perfect spot because she's probably on like what, a 6-month contract.
I don't know.
Probably like a shorter contract, I would guess. She's probably gonna do awesome work there. And the way Multiverse is set up, like she could face Mercedes or something. Like people were being weird about that being her new home, and I'm like, I think it's a great call because she's gonna have so much freedom. She can get her feet wet against some really great talent and Impact. She looked so
electric.
It's just like at peace.
Alive.
Like she looked so happy and comfortable, and it just made me very happy to see.
And the lines that they, her and then Deonna Purrazzo came out because she dropped names. And so Deonna Purrazzo said, "You can't walk out on this," like kind of shooting on the whole her and Sasha walking out. And then Trinity fired back saying, "Hey, well, you're gonna wish you got," which actually kind of didn't really make sense to me at the time. Like you're gonna wish you got fired again. Like you can't get fired, but like once you're fired, you're fired.
Well, because she got fired in WWE, so she's
That's
saying,
what I meant.
like,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna beat your ass so bad that you're gonna wish you were fired from here.
Fired again, maybe from Impact. Okay, I get you. But yeah, so I thought, and then Jordan Grace, who I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to shame anybody. Super uncomfortable to look at. But the fact that the three of them are now entangled in some awesome top tier talent for the women's division there was really, really cool, and it closed the show, which it should have, and it was awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I like it. Fat Trinity makes she fits over there in the you could make a point that it might be the best women's division in wrestling.
To me, it's hands down. I mean, WWE is great. AEW is they're all great. There's so many great talents. Like you can't how can you argue a division that has Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair and Io Sky and Asuka, and then at the same time, how can you argue like Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker and
You can
Jake
only argue
Cargill.
the booking. That's it.
No, of course you can argue the booking, but you can't argue the actual raw talent. And then you go to TNA or Impact, and you got Deanna Purrazzo. You got freaking Jordan Grace. You have I could do with that. I think Rosemary is fantastic, and you have Masha, and you have now Jody Riot's there, and or Jody Threat. I'm sorry, Jody Threat, and
keep an eye out on ROH because they're bolstering their women's division and Athena rules. So it's a good time for women's wrestling.
I'm obviously going to forget names when I'm just rattling them off, but there's the women in wrestling right now are freaking top notch.
Hell yeah.
So there it is.
And this has been a top-notch show. Special thanks to Tony's mom for joining us. Paul Lauria is a great guest. Kate sitting in on 5th/4th mic for Down the Aisle, and then we had to cover Backlash. Next week, Bad Luck Fale is with us. Kevin has a top 5 next week, and we will be back. Please, if you watch this, you listen to this, please rate, review, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, tell your friends. It really helps the algorithm, and we'll be back next week. Let's go Devils. Let's go Devils.
Good night, Gracie.
Oh, you stupid.
Good night, Diana.